I guess it's the perfect time to be done with SnowRunner then.
I thought you were gonna say take a shit.
Well, I mean,
Shit. I guess Eagle will show up when he shows up. You're gonna say take a shit.
well, I mean,
Put my speak over there. All right. So I am streaming this just so you guys are aware. And if any
That's right. I already signed my voucher. My waiver.
If any of you want to
Streaming it where?
YouTube.
Oh.
All right. So I'd like to start off on a happy note. I think everybody except for maybe Glitch knows this. Maybe even Glitch knows this. But my last stream on YouTube actually had 50 viewers, which is
Hell yeah.
pretty amazing considering I watched the if you watch like Arma 3's official streams, they usually cap out around 300. So
there was none. It was 48 alts.
shut up.
No. Don't know that.
I don't watch any of my own streams. I did it first, but then I'm like, fuck this.
I hate hearing myself talk.
Well, I'm like too many Chrome tabs open just to watch a fucking stream that I'm not even
yeah.
watching. I'm just playing it.
Right.
Yeah. So like that was pretty cool. I realized like 3/4 of the way through the night, people were actually talking in chat, and I'm like, oh shit, there's people. I've just been ignoring them. Yeah. So this is just going to be a debrief of Chapter 4. Go over Chapter 4 and our thoughts on it. The near future of Charlie and Mike, Chapter 5, 6, and that. And then Arma in general, if we have time. I don't really have a plan laid out because this is the first time we're doing it. I kind of want it to be more freeform and just see how it goes and lay out plans for the future ones if it's necessary. And also, I'm lazy.
Understandable.
So, yeah, just didn't really feel like it. So yeah, so I guess we'll just start with Chapter 4. And I know 2 of you, because Eagle's not here, 2 of you were players for Chapter 4. So you should have some insight on all that.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, right. That's why.
Just here so I don't get fined.
Man, you've already been fined, okay?
Shit.
We don't charge membership fees here because every time we get a new member, Nomad's fee goes up.
Fuck, really?
Yeah.
Why my bank account was so low?
I just have his account.
Yeah, you
information,
have his credit
so,
card
yeah,
number, so you just.
I just draw from it when I need money, you know.
I was wondering what that charge was for Big Purple Wieners the other day, but you know, I don't ask.
That actually makes sense now why my income was going up. I guess you're drawing my salary from him.
Yeah, I give No Name a good share of whatever I take from Nomad, you know. And it's called the Eviscerator 9000, okay, Nomad?
Oh shit, it's got a name.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
I need you to learn these things if you're going to be buying these. Or paying for them, rather. So I guess first let's talk about like the thing that I feel was probably the worst about chapter 4, and that was just the pacing of the whole thing was very, very unbelievably slow. And I know I've mentioned it many times. It's because I felt guilty a lot of times if I was like, okay, Nomad, Eagle's gonna kill all your forces or something like that. I felt like I couldn't do anything without pissing somebody off, even though I think I cared more than anybody else about that type of shit. But
I think you did care a little more than anyone. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't have really cared. Like, honestly, from my point of view, like, I didn't see a point where, like, I don't think I got attacked at all. Like,
No.
as far as the faction play, and like,
Oh,
Nomad
Griff
never attacked
fucking
me, and
betrayed
Eagle
me.
never attacked me. Let's get one thing straight. Barry Lincoln betrayed you. I did nothing. It's
Wait,
not
Barry
my
Lankin-
decision.
Barry Lankin was always Los Assassinos.
I have something on that point when you're done.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say to make everyone feel less bad, right? Because you want to be in control of your actions, your people, right? So you don't want to be told, maybe I don't know. You don't want to be told, oh, due to roles or whatever, this squad was wiped out, or stuff like that. But if as we go forward, you have personal control over one division or squadron or something like that, then everything that happens to them has to be done through you. Everyone else, it's like, you're delegating these to the other generals in your army, and you just get reports from them, that sort of thing. That'd make it easier to have bad things happen to other players, because you can say, oh, well, this general screwed up, and now you've lost half that force.
So I don't know how much you actually said about this, Travis, but going forward, we're actually looking at the prospect of, instead of being player versus player in the war room, more of a co-op situation, to where each player will control, like you said, one division of said faction or one asset of said faction, and you'll
I think
work
that's
together.
a better way to do it too.
Yeah, because my favorite war room so far was, having done it barely in chapter 1 and 2 being a big test mostly. But my biggest, I love chapter 3 because that was really set up as a more co-op thing, and that's why I wanted to play the PLA, because I was hoping the Chinese were gonna lose. I wanted the Chinese to lose. I like that story of fighting back and all that. You know what I mean?
Everybody wins when the Chinese lose.
Yeah. So I really like that. So, and I think my big thing with chapter 3 was trying to make the Chinese play like more of a player instead of an NPC, which really interrupted that chapter, at least as far as the players are concerned.
Well, if I could throw out a suggestion or a recommendation, I would, like, if we want that like co-op experience, but we also want that the enemy actually makes decisions, and not just Travis making the enemy do stuff because he's the one always making the mission. Is we could have somebody who is not as heavily invested, like because you and I had a couple discussions, Travis, about like the end of chapter 4 and how like you kind of felt I don't know if backed into a corner is the right word, but like you knew that the outcome of chapter 4 was going to have to be one way, so as not to like just piss everybody off, kind of thing. And like if we need somebody to play that enemy faction who doesn't like from the beginning that you're not going to win, you're playing the op 4, but you need to make decisions for that op 4 and not be upset when they just totally get steamrolled. Like, I would totally be willing to to do that role, to play that role, if we need an enemy to act realistic and not care about the other players in the war room just completely fucking up your forces. then I guess I offer to do that in the future because my feelings are not going to get hurt. It's a damn game, and I'm all about making it realistic. I enjoy playing Op 4, so yeah.
Something else we could probably do is, if there's something in the future that is set up where you're going to have a faction lose, but you're not sure how you want it to happen, then you can say that whenever you're giving the rolls out. Look, this faction is going to have to lose, but what I need you here is to make the story of how they lose. Because I'd be happy to do that too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Expectation management at the beginning.
Yeah, that's really good.
Because it was that way in Chapter 2. I pretty much knew the CDF was going to lose, but it was fun making them lose.
Yeah. And
nobody expected the war crimes.
Yeah, you did really good with the whole "I'm just gonna kill my own civilians" thing, and then Russia's like being good guys over here, and then Russia decides to invade Ukraine. It's the total opposite. I'm like, thanks, Russia. We actually painted you in a nice light, and you just proved that you're a bunch of dicks. Thanks, good job. But yeah, and then the other thing that hurt Chapter 3 a lot, I feel like, was playing the PLA like they were another player. Because it just, I don't know, it felt, and I spoke with Jake about it because I ended up fucking him over a good bit. And it's just because the PLA, I set them up to play like a player. I gave them all the same rules and stuff, and then I broke those rules for the story. And I think that was just, it wasn't fair to everybody, and it wasn't very well understood for them, for Jake and Chimp, because now all of a sudden PLA gets to do all this extra shit that they don't get to do, and that was on me for being a dinkus. Why the fuck? But yeah, and then Chapter 4 developed into the point where we needed it to end. It had been going on for like 6 months, and I'm like, this has to end relatively soon, but there's no end in sight. So
okay, real quick, I was trying to say something, but my mic was off.
I'm sorry.
I didn't get the sense of like an unfair or whatever, being a player and you having the controlling the PLA, and then bending and breaking rules to advance the story. I didn't sense like any sort of, I don't know, because I understood the dynamic of it. About you're basically playing the monster in the D&D combat, basically. Right. Like that monster's gonna try to hurt you, and if it helps the story that now that monster is way more powerful than it should be, or it's stronger than you, that's just how it goes. And the PLA is China. And so if they suddenly like they want to commit like a whole bunch more to the effort of taking a group of islands, they're gonna, So I don't know. I didn't feel like it was like it didn't feel right or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, the big thing that I did to Jake was he had his entire force on Nagasola. And I fired some torpedoes at one of his destroyers or at his ships, and basically told him his admiral of his navy got scared and fucked off.
Yeah.
And it left his entire force there for a while, which really like felt like it took him out of the fight. And like I don't blame him because it did. It was like, hey, you can't play for a little while, essentially. Like you can just sit here. And the macro for Chapter 3 was god awful, I think, anyways. But so something else we talked about was downsizing the war room. So instead of the whole, and I think we mentioned this here already, but instead of the whole big commanding a whole army, no name mentioned it. You're commanding a small force within that army. And that'll help.
I prefer that dynamic myself because it makes it feel like you are making a bigger impact.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it won't be so like heavy on the manage, a division's worth of fucking units in a relatively small time frame as like a side gig through paper. Even though that's
Actually,
kind of
that
shit
would
I
also
love.
make it easier to have somebody lose as well, because you could have their personal company you could give them an out, but yet the faction loses because the other AI generals, if you will, died or did it incorrectly or whatever. And you still give them a victory by having them fight a really hard fought escape.
Just like an actual war would be. You
Yeah.
know?
Right. I don't remember which chapter it was, but one of them ended, or at least one of the scenarios we had going, ended with everybody running to the hills to possibly regroup at a later chapter.
That was the end of mine on chapter 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. The heroic Buho last stand that never happened.
Because we had the option to either stay and fight or to just run off.
I honestly thought you were gonna run away. There's such a big QRF force that was gonna kill us. And you ruined it. But no, that's fine. Because that was a tough mission anyway, so it was very stressful. But yeah, and then if it was like that, oh my god, we'd also have more opportunity to play like story type missions than just the fluff missions that we did so many of for chapter 3, where it was like, oh well, you chose to do this and I need an op, so we'll just do that, I guess. And it kind of like takes away from the mission because it's just another mission. It doesn't feel special or anything. I didn't think you were gonna put your foot in it. Why am I muted? What was the last thing you guys heard from me?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you've been quiet for a while.
Oh my god. Well, my stream heard it all.
Oh, the last thing I heard was Nomad's comment,
Oh, okay.
and then he
Wow.
stopped talking, and then I looked over, and you were muted, and I was like, I wonder if he knows if he's muted.
No, nope, did not know.
Okay.
What a guy.
Yeah,
Good talk.
I said I was I had such a big QRF planned for the last defense, the last stand
Yeah,
with the
fuck
Buho.
all that.
And Nomad's like, nah. And at one side of it, I'm like, come on, Nomad. But at the other side, I'm like, that was a stressful night as it was, so.
You're not gonna end of chapter 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got fucked up all day.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
We really did.
That was a rough. And San Agasta didn't help it. Our playstyle needs rocks and trees and shit to hide behind.
Means we are fucked come chapter 6.
What are you talking about? There'll be buildings everywhere.
If we're in the buildings part, there's a whole lot of fucking desert.
That's true. Anyway, so do we have any more thoughts on chapter 4? What about some good stuff that we liked about chapter 4?
The map.
I mean, I
map was
I
beautiful.
enjoyed. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
It's just the only comment I had really.
What was your comment?
The map was beautiful.
Columbia.
Columbia.
I think
Yes.
that was a big part of why it took so long too, because I just wanted to keep making missions on Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia was really good. I liked Columbia. I was sad that I never got to make a mission on Columbia. But I was gonna say, I mean, I thought, as far as my first experience with War Room, I thought it was I thought it was good and fun. I mean, I feel like it flowed, Travis. I know you have different experiences, so you had more to go on than I did. But I mean, I thought it flowed. I mean, I also thought it was like, I don't know, maybe you've tried this in the past, maybe you haven't. I think it'd be kind of cool to do, to have the War Room, in person over voice, just like 30 minutes or 20. I mean, it wouldn't probably even take 30 minutes. It'd
The
probably
problem
take
with
like
that is coordination.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah, we did that during chapter 3 for a while, didn't we?
Maybe. I know we tried it
We-
once in chapter 4.
We did it a couple times, like a couple as in 2, maybe.
I feel like we did it more than that, but it was an issue of getting everybody to attend it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know we did it at least once or twice in chapter 3, and we tried it again in chapter 4. It is just like the easiest time is like right after an op, and at that time, like everybody wants to go to bed and shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but if we had smaller war room where instead of a whole army, you're commanding a platoon, it'll change things pretty drastically. Yeah. Okay, I just want to. I'm gonna mute myself.
Didn't see that.
Watch.
I did. Yeah, the other thing I liked about the last chapter was I mean, and I guess it didn't really have anything to do with the chapter, but there were a couple really good missions that we had a lot of people on, and everyone was coordinated and everything. I didn't really think I couldn't like pick a mission or anything where anyone had a bad time. I think all the missions were good and fun and good quality and a good space, like as my amount of time it took for each one.
The only thing I have is that it wasn't. I don't remember any bad times with this chapter. I did miss quite a few of the ops, but it wasn't all that memorable. So, as for the good points, our teamwork as usual is really great. The missions themselves were always fun. In general, like at least I don't remember, sitting and waiting for the op to finish. But for the rest of it, I really can't remember much else about it.
Yeah, I'm really with No Name. I mean, even as a player, nothing sticks out to me that we did that was super cool.
Really?
The only thing
Nothing
that's
was super cool.
The only thing that stuck out to me as super cool was that mission where we had it was a ranger mission, and we had the little bird. We had one team going around doing like different stuff in like the different towns, and then we had the other team transporting the artillery pieces, and then we set up the ambush and stuff. I mean, we just had so many people and so many pieces were moving. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like
that's the one I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was my favorite mission.
I feel like most of my favorite missions also would have been ranger missions. And it's probably just on me as the mission maker having better ideas for them than I did for the cartel. Although the one that we did with it was a Buho op, and Kyle played as I don't think it was ever announced, but he was a
The contact,
CIA guy. Yeah, he was a CIA contact.
little ambush and shit.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking awesome. I definitely could have built on that more in hindsight for the Buho story, and it would have been pretty sweet. Um, but yeah, other than that, like, I mean, chapter 4 was pretty smooth. Um, I never really had to scream at anybody to take their turn. Which was a relief because in chapter 5 or 3, I had to do that a bit. Kyle, um, he took his sweet time. It's great. Does anybody have anything else for chapter 4?
Good job, thank you.
Aw, brown nosing.
But yeah, I mean, the missions, no matter what situation we put in, especially from our new mission maker as well, they're all fun to play. So as far as individual missions go, they've all been good.
Yes.
I like
With
that we're improving.
yeah, I like having another person make missions, and I've been like stingy as crap out of it because like people have offered, and I've just said no because I don't know them, I don't know their mission style, and I don't want shitty missions on Wednesday nights. Like I don't want everybody to get together, put all this effort into organizing everything, and then we just have a night that is absolute trash because the mission sucked so bad. Which is why I'm real strict on who I do let, and that's like why Rabbit hasn't made Wednesday night ops. Not saying his missions are bad, because I've only played a couple and they were fine. But like I want to see more out of him, but he's not available except Wednesday nights, and I mean right now not at all. But it would be cool if and that like if he did some more and he proved himself as a mission maker, then I'd have nothing against letting whoever try. I just want to not do it right off the bat on a Wednesday night.
You just don't want the trials to be on Wednesdays.
Yeah, yeah. I'd rather have a crappy op on a Sunday night when there's like 4 or 5 people show up, and it's like I'm sorry for those guys, but it's easier to like restart and like all right, we'll just do a quick little defense or Zeus thing to make up for it, and then like that mission maker can be like, all right, so this is what I did. I'll learn. I'll improve. Blah blah blah. Instead of just like dedicating 3 hours to it and then losing everything. If Rabbit is watching, I don't mean to single you out. You're just a good example. But yeah, so with Glitch now making missions, I mean he's leaving soon because he's an a-hole and he hates us.
Just for a bit.
But for chapter 6, we have it set up where because there's 2 factions for chapter 6. I don't know if we want to announce what they are to
I wouldn't yet.
Blaze, as he's probably the only person watching. But there's going to be 2 playable factions. Glitch is going to make missions as one faction and play the other, and then I will make so he's going to make missions for faction A and play faction B, and I will make missions for faction B and play faction A. There probably won't be much war room going on, but
Yeah, that was going to be my question: is how much are we going to have 2 different people play and
no, I don't
determine what happens?
When I say not much, I mean I don't think there's going to be any.
Okay.
So something that happens in the war room is whoever quote unquote wins gets to become a nation. So right now we have 4 countries that we have players for, and it's just this overarching thing. It really doesn't do anything just yet, but eventually it'll as our storyline grows, we'll be making like decisions and shit.
Can't wait.
Forming alliances and this and that. So we have I'm Altus because Altus is my one true fucking love, except for my girlfriend. She's
As he looks
number
over.
one.
Kiss ass.
How did you know?
Brad.
How did you know I looked over my?
Because I heard it.
We
heard
heard
your
you
voice.
turn your
I
head.
heard your head turn when you said that. I literally heard it.
So Altus is second in my life. Third
Good
in my life because I have a dog, and that dog comes second. Oh, that's a car. But so like I love Altus. I love it. It's amazing. So I'm Altus, and then out of the second chapter, we got the National Commune of Panthera, which was and that was like purely accidental of Kyle
Fucking
defeating
Kyle.
Iran somehow, just fucking annihilating Iran, and I'm like, what the fuck, Kyle? He's like, I don't know, I just fucking thought I'd blow some shit up, and I'm like, yeah, well, you blew up everything, thanks.
You blew up all of Iran.
Essentially, well, he blew up like Iranian bases and everything, and I'm just like,
Still don't
All
fucking
right.
know how he did that
yeah,
shit.
like these fucking communists apparently are just fucking well armed to the teeth and got the best soldiers in the world. And then chapter 3 got Chimp as the Horizon Islands, which is probably our biggest faction population wise. And then 4 now has, we don't really have a name for it yet, but Eagle Eye is Panther, or not Panthera, Rogero and Lingor, which will be pretty fun. And like, I'm in the process of making an Altus faction mod for us, because we will be returning to Altus in the relative future for like Altus 2022 or 2023 or some shit. And yeah, so that's what the War Room creates. It creates, essentially at the end of it, it creates a faction for us to play in. I have it called as global politics, I think, or geopolitical. And so if we're not really gonna create that, I don't see the point in attempting.
I mean, because chapter 6 is, going to be almost purely historical esque,
Yeah.
per se.
There's that as well. Like, and I think it'll be cooler, and it'll provide, namely Glitch, a better opportunity to tell a story with his missions as opposed to doing what's assigned to him.
I guess
And-
we could release the names. It's not going to hurt anything.
You mean release the name of the factions, but not where it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
I mean, could,
I don't think it's going to hurt anything.
or we could not.
Either one. It's fine by me.
If my single or multiple viewers would like us to release the names of the factions for Chapter 6, go ahead and chat
Please
now.
press Alt F4.
Alt F4.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe and
Like
comment
and
on the
50
video.
likes and we'll reveal.
50 likes. Wow, I don't think I'm gonna hit 50 likes, boy.
And stick around for today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not even
Manscaped.
sponsored, but just we'll get there. I have 4 viewers. How many of those are you guys?
I'm one.
One is me.
Nope.
No.
Oh, so 2 of them are people. They have not commented, so I guess we're not.
I mean, Blaze did.
Yeah, but he said I have AIDS.
Well, yeah, he still
that-
commented.
That was like 20 minutes ago. He has not commented since I said comment for here, let me like my own stream here. Yep. Oh, one is me. So yeah, it's just Blaze. And he missed the opportunity. Eagle's not in TeamSpeak yet, is he? No. Okay. So yeah, that's we'll wait. If he thanks, Nomad. I think Nomad just wants to announce what the factions are at this point. Just go ahead, announce it for Blaze.
Is Blaze even fucking in here still?
I don't think so. I think he's fucking.
What's the point?
Blaze, we were gonna do it for you if you just said you were here, but you didn't. So, oh, there's only 3, so Blaze left.
Oh, well,
Hold on.
I didn't.
guess we're not getting revealed.
This is
I guess he
getting
wasn't
interactive.
amused by
No,
I'm
the
out.
Raid
now
Shadow
it's
Legends.
best because we can reveal it and there's nobody to hear it.
Yeah, that's true. So for chapter 6, then we won't be adding one of these factions to the.
No.
Okay,
No,
makes
I
sense.
thought about it honestly. If we did a traditional war room, I thought about it and maybe trying to make like an Afghanistan faction, because something that I think would be cool if for our ongoing story here of Iran consolidating the Middle East and essentially creating CSAT and doing what ISIS has been trying to do for a while is if Afghanistan was like, fuck all that, we just want to do our own thing. So they like rebelled against Iran and then China came in and tried to fuck with them. because like in real world geopolitical, both Iran and China do want Afghanistan, but they also want to be friends. So it's going to be really funny if that ever happens, if they try to be friends but also wanted the same goal. Um, but at the same time, like I think when it comes to, now that I've revealed chapter 6 unknowingly, um, when it comes to a war room for chapter 6, I don't think it's, or when it comes to chapter 6, I don't think people are gonna enjoy as much playing Afghanistan, and I think the real enjoyment out of there is gonna be the traditional Arma
The
ops
two
that
main.
every other unit fucking plays that
Yeah.
we haven't played in 3 years.
Trying to do something more, something different.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess the closest we've come was my
Yeah, you did.
Alaska thing.
Yep, Alaska. I mean, we did U.S. Rangers in this chapter, which is close, I suppose. But
Which the Alaska thing, dude, was hands down one of my favorite things to do.
that just happened too. I wasn't gonna make that into a thing.
I wasn't planning
I-
on leading every one of them.
I liked it. It was really fun. But yeah, so yeah, chapter 6 is just gonna be story driven chapter.
Okay.
It's gonna have the 2 campaigns, probably 5 missions each. Probably.
Okay.
10 weeks of standard ops and then 4 to 5 operation campaign at the end of it.
And then
Campaign
what
at the end, not the beginning.
It'll be a 4 to 5 operation campaign,
Yeah, we're gonna start doing campaigns at the end instead of the beginnings.
or wherever they make sense. And
Oh, so like what Brian did at the beginning of chapter 4.
yeah, it just,
Well,
Okay.
and then not every
Not
chapter.
so much that one, but more so the campaigns we did before that.
Yeah, I mean, I love Brian, but I don't know what he did with this chapter's campaign or chapter 4's campaign, because I was like Brian, the Rangers can't leave Columbia. We still have the whole chapter to do. But okay, I guess I'll make up a reason for them to stay. Um, but yeah, so like chapter 7 probably won't really have a campaign. Chapter 4, 5 here obviously doesn't really have a campaign. Or like a true campaign. And we still have to define what your campaign's gonna mean for us too. But that's a discussion for another day.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah. So I guess we can move on to chapter 5 now, or the future of Charlie Mike Actual. What do we want to see? If this video gets, if this stream gets 10,000 likes in the next hour, I will promise
New contact?
a contact chapter fucking within the next year. Promise it. You have 1 hour, 10,000 likes. Go. Right now, Eagle's furiously making more fucking accounts.
Making 9,000 spam accounts.
Blow them up, blow them up. Yeah, is there anything anybody wants to see? So like we talk about in our, and like everybody here except for Glitch really gets to hear it. At the end of every chapter, we do a little meeting to discuss the future and changes and this and that and all, like adding Ace Pharmacy for this chapter. But like now's a good time to talk about what we want to see for the future. So obviously 5, 6, 7. Well, 5's now, but 6 and 7 and 8 are all like planned out. We are doing shorter chapters to try and get a little more in for a little while. Or if we get into something awesome, we'll do a little longer. But just to keep our theater of war moving. But is there anything anybody wants to really see?
Like theater wise?
Yeah.
Some arcs and stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to return to the snow like we had on chapter 2 or
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, that was, I love the snow. I wish there was better snow camouflage somewhere, because I don't know, I'm not a fan of trike. I know that everybody loves trike. I don't think it's very good.
Like I'm always a fan of snow and deserts. I mean, I hate jungles with a passion.
Here we are doing 3 jungle chapters.
It sucked.
Well, if you come to my alternative ops here, Nomad, you'll notice it's not in a jungle at all.
Yeah, we had fun.
Well, I mean, not everybody's a hard on for Altus like you do, so
You do though.
okay, I can't deny that.
Hey, it's a fantastic setting.
It is. Look at this map.
As for specific scenarios, I don't really have any. But
Just like areas of the world.
cold. That's all I got.
I wish they'd finish Caribou.
Oh, I know.
They never will, but I would do.
I just
Endless
wish it was
missions
easier to
there.
make a map.
For Forger, Arma 4, it'll be easier.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I will.
Yeah, I'll see it when I believe it.
Okay. I'll definitely dip my hands in it. I tried map making for Arma 3, and it's
Yeah,
just,
so did I. I got confused.
yeah, I'm like, no, this is fucking outrageously difficult. And then I was reading the forums like, oh, just get a satellite scan of an area and use that. And I'm like, what?
How the fuck do you even go about that?
Well, if you look at from high up on a lot of the maps, so that like the foliage like de-renders, you can see it's all like Google Maps
Columbia was that way.
stuff. Yeah, like you can see like buildings and trees and stuff that aren't there in the map, but they're on the ground.
That confuses me when the trees don't line up.
I think I would like to see more. Well, I got it. We always want more training and stuff, but like I think it'd be really cool to see like try to work in more of our specialty stuff, like have an amphibious landing mission, have a mission where we're on vehicles and stuff, like armored vehicles. We don't have to do that every time, but like once.
So
I was gonna say that I'd like to see more like multi-vehicle missions.
Yeah.
I know
me
that
too.
that comes down to like really we need more people, but I don't know, like every once in a while maybe tanks and helicopters and whatnot.
yeah, no, definitely. I get you because I love having multiple assets. I think it's amazing to be the commander, and it's a stress, but it's a good kind of stress to be like, all right, where are all my assets?
Yeah, well,
As
I mean that's
opposed
why.
to, where's my 2 fire teams?
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I chose that mission that I talked about in chapter 4 as like my favorite mission. It's just because there was so many assets managing the vehicles on the ground, the vehicles in the air, and the different teams and stuff. I mean,
I'm the odd man out.
you like the infantry stuff.
I
He
fucking
likes
hate vehicles.
A
with
mass
passion.
wave of dudes just charging a position.
Yeah, I mean, and granted, I enjoy that too, and we do enough of it. I just think it'd be nice to work in 1 or 2 more missions where the focus is on, instead of fire teams, we have fire teams and vehicles. We can still do and that's kind of what I'm like building for the one mission that I'm going to get to make for chapter 5 is I'm building a PBR mission.
So
where,
the problem I always
each team
have-
is in a PBR.
Problem I always have with vehicles is it goes one of 2 ways. Either you make the enemy contact so super hard that without being in a vehicle you can't do anything, or the vehicle just steamrolls through everything and the infantry gets to do nothing. And we have yet to find that perfect balance.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
I would, and that is a big issue, and I'd love to find that balance, but unfortunately we have to unbalance it more to find the balance.
I think it was last chapter, maybe chapter 3. We did that one with the BMP, and it just rolled through, and the infantry could hardly do anything.
Is that the one where Eagle led it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah. The one where you came in late as a pilot.
I did.
No.
Oh, I wasn't there for it.
No, you were there, Travis. It was the one I took AT.
Oh no, that was Battle for Ruggiero.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was literally just the BMP doing all the work, and we
And it sucked.
did nothing at all. Um,
That probably comes down to being able to pick the right areas for those missions, because you have to be
Yeah.
able to split up that work.
my thing with
That's-
that is I wanted to do the amphibious landing with BMPs.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the amphibious landing was cool. I mean, it was a shit show. We all got killed on the beach, but I mean, it was
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah, wasn't that the one where our fuel tank kept getting hit? Like
I think so.
again and again
Yeah.
and again. I was driving it, wasn't I?
I think you were.
No, it's like every engagement our fuel tank got hit.
But that's something going forward I hope to address, and it's kind of like you said, Glitch, where there'll be more dedicated type of specialty stuff. So with 6, for example, one of the factions will be a sniper platoon. So there will always be a sniper slot available. And maybe we might not always take the sniper slot. Maybe the sniper slot will act more as a advanced designated marksman than an actual sitting in a room
Sniper.
waiting for the one shot type of sniper.
Yeah.
But that slot is gonna be there. When we do chapter 6 or 7 and we go back to Altus, one of the factions I want to be an armored platoon. So it'll have available a tank and a BMP, and we really just cater to that a little bit better and learn where our boundaries are as far as what the infantry can do and what the armor can do.
Yeah, and I think working in more of those specialty slots is going to kind of help and encourage people to seek out the training and stuff. Because if there's always a sniper spot open, or maybe having like a I don't know, it's kind of hard with, like, I'm trying to think about the armor training and stuff, like the vehicle training that No Name does. It's kind of hard to always have an armored vehicle because you're right, it steamrolls things, but always having some sort of specialty slot open, people are going to be like, hey, I want to take that, and
Mm-hmm.
and they're not going to be able to until they do the training, and that will encourage them to seek that out more.
And something that's going to help us is I talked to Chimp lightly about it, and I'm hoping I talk to him more about it here in a bit. But new recruiting things, like video or something, maybe, I don't know, something new for recruiting.
Oh,
But
that'd be cool.
chapter 5 here isn't going to be a big recruiting chapter because it is a Prairie Fire to CDLC
Yeah.
thing. So I don't see us getting a ton of recruits, especially any who don't want to be dedicated Vietnam all the time. Because if I see a looking for group post and they're saying I want to be Vietnam all the time, I'm not gonna send them a message because here in a couple months we're not gonna be Vietnam anymore. We're gonna go back to modern times. So they'll
Right.
just maybe they'll stay, maybe they leave. But if they're so diehard on that one thing, then I don't want to waste their time and our time with something we're not going to offer them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always just going to be a learning curve, and like, it's unfortunately we'll have to probably have a little less fun here and there as a tank just steamroll shit. But also we can always just be a good Zeus, and if a tank is steamrolling, just fucking drop down an AT guy and take it out. Say fuck you.
Right.
And now we don't have a tank. And we to left.
I think that we shouldn't have to do that, though. If it's done, we have places where the tank simply can't go, then that should solve itself.
Right. So a thought that I had about it is like have objectives that specifically for that armor crew, or your helicopter, your plane, or whatever, that they go do while the infantry goes and they clear out the town or the city or whatever. Something, and like having them go off and do something that the infantry just is not equipped to do, but they're off doing something that's it's still something they can do, but it's challenging. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how I've been thinking a solution for, because like one of the problems with like helo pilots, and we've talked about this before, is just like you if you're flying transport, it's like you drop off the people and then it's like, well, now what?
Yeah.
You kind of just wait until you need to be transported again, and that could be forever.
I mean, I liked in what was it? It was in chapter 3 when I flew transport helo. You had me going back and forth and taking crates back and forth. That was good. And then at one point, I went back and grabbed resupply crates for the infantry. I mean, I think it'd be a lot of fun to have that.
Yeah.
Uh,
You just did that way
have
too
stuff like
fast.
that.
Because I remember
Oh.
asking, I'm like, all right, just keep doing resupply. And you're like, I'm done. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Shit. Never mind. Hold on.
Yeah.
But I was actually going to bring that up. That's something we can always do is have them do different things. Like the first op of this chapter, when I was flying the AR1 or AD1 or whatever it is, I actually had objectives to go take out the what's it called? The artillery. Like that was my side objective. It wasn't to directly support you guys. It was to go take out that artillery piece or those 3 artillery pieces and support you that way. And that's really cool. Just unfortunately, I didn't have the time for that in that operation. Like I was just I was busy.
That's definitely not a bad problem either, because that means that there was enough for you to do without having to fall back on those objectives.
That was also
Yeah.
like a faster op too.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be necessary. They should just be, purely extra, purely optional. So that, if you need to fall back on, supporting everybody else, you can.
But one op I think we had a tank in and it went real well was Battle for Hill 43 in chapter 3.
Yeah, that one felt good.
Yeah, like that tank did not feel overpowered at all. I think Chimp was leading it, I believe, right? Or No Name was.
Which one was
In
that?
Chimp's place. It's the one you had the tank.
The M48.
Okay.
And we
Meme was in it. I know that.
Yeah, well, Meme's always in a tank if it's there. But we assaulted the hill, and it was amazing. Gave me a huge boner. But we drove the tank up on the beach and shot at a boat with it like 17 times, and the boat kept getting knocked back.
I do not recall.
I don't know if you were there because I think No Name took your place leading it.
I think I do remember that mission.
Because I remember trying to tell No Name how to work supports and stuff through Simplex. Or was it Simplex at that time, or was it Drongos?
No.
It was Drongos. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Drongos.
So, so I think you might have missed that. One of the 3 ops you've missed. But yeah, the tank was used as support, and it was only brought up to the front when infantry needed cover, which, I mean, honestly, if it's not in a tank battle, it's in a jungle, that's how it should be used. It was just, and it didn't feel overpowered. It was back there supporting, and the infantry were doing all the work, but the guys in the tank were still blowing shit up and having fun. And it did feel good when we took the hill and the tank rolled up, and I'm like, okay, there's a tank here.
I just had an idea for a mission that I kind of want to write down so that I can kind of do in the future. Is I think it'd be really cool to have the opposite, have the infantry support the tank in the sense of the infantry has an objective to capture some enemy artillery pieces and use them to support, a couple armored vehicles, a couple tanks assaulting, another objective. Kind of flip the standard formula on its head.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
I kind of want to.
We
I
did,
kind of want to save that idea and use it.
I think a good combination, in my opinion, it was done nicely. Was Rosovoy Pass in Chapter 2, right at the start of Chapter 2, where we had a T90, was it T95, and a BMP 3, I think it was, with a mortar section, and then the infantry, and we all just kind of advanced, and like the infantry would have to clear out some AT placements, and then the tanks could move up. And there was this wicked epic fucking tank battle that was happening right next to the infantry, and it was beautiful. And like every time the tank round ricocheted off a tank, it just went whoosh, and it sounded so freaking amazing from an infantry perspective.
They do sound pretty fantastic.
Yeah, until our tank got blown up.
And the sound stopped, but
yeah,
the experience was all right.
Yeah, and even then, like we did a lot with that one tank, and at the end we all died, which I love those kind of missions, and we need to do one soon where we all die. But I like it when we all die.
We already did all die 2 ops ago.
Yeah, it didn't count though. We respawned.
Yeah, then we all died again.
Yeah, but you could respawn again. Anyways, words are fun.
That town that you're in right now, I put a defense op there once upon a time. That was a really cool town with the enemy assaulting from the hill above.
Yeah.
On the
I
side
missed
of
our
the
farmer
mountain.
defense.
I think
Farmer defense was the best.
that was.
Oh
fun.
yeah, I remember farmer defense.
I'm actually gonna go back and work on airfield defense here shortly. Oops, I did that wrong. It was OG Charlie Mike. I don't know if No Name or Nomad were there yet. I think it was this exact town where we were doing a patrol. Might not have been this town, but we got like caught up in the buildings at the south here. It was not this. Was it this town? Were you there, Nomad?
Man, I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Because from this saying, yeah, it definitely was this town. I remember this wall. But we were doing a patrol and we got ambushed, and it was fucking amazing because we were just getting swarmed from this valley, and we had to retreat through the sections of the town. And then once we got up to like this middle section here, A10s came in and just gun runned all around us, and it was just epic and cinematic and amazing. And it was great because it was just supposed to be a patrol, like, and that was amazing. And I think it was one we all thought was actually going to be a patrol because Brian used to love to make patrol ops.
Yeah, it was Brian who ruined me on the style of ops that I enjoy.
Yeah. Guess we can go that way. Worry about any of this. Never mind. Wow, should have really had a script, huh?
Yeah, not so much a script as maybe an outline of what you
Yeah.
might want
An
to talk about.
agenda.
Yeah. Chatting points. Change this. So how we liking Ace Pharmacy so far?
Well,
Makes my head hurt, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm
mean,
enjoying it.
It's, there's a lot more to it. I do like the stuff that like you can make sure that you can. I mean, the wounds reopen and stuff, which is frustrating, but you can fix that with a what's it called, EAC.
You could also do it with a packing bandage.
Yeah, and I like the smelling salts and the reorient patient, being able to get them up and moving quickly if certain criteria are met. I don't know. It is very stressful, because there's more to it now.
I've enjoyed it the couple times that I've used it as a medic. I've really enjoyed it. I don't know. It certainly adds a lot more than just, oh, here, let me get 75 elastic bandages and saline plasma and blood. They all do the same thing. So I'm just gonna take whatever is available in the arsenal, and and that was pretty much it. If I can patch them up, throw some blood in, and do some CPR. I'm really enjoying. Like, I actually have to fucking think about what I'm doing. I mean, and the other night when I was playing, Travis's little mini mission, I actually reoriented Blaze by slapping him, and it opened his head wound. It opened his wound on his head, which was actually kind of cool. And I also did some tests and stuff, and was able to hook up Meme to the medical vehicle and use the onboard diagnostic system, which was a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it.
That was cool. That was
Yes.
We discussed
Yes,
it
it
at the
was.
end. That was a good test for for medical. That little op.
Yeah, no, it really was. I tested and confirmed. So I patched up my leg with just elastic, and then I patched up Blaze's arm. We had 2 GSWs. Blaze's arm with a packing, and then a regular bandage, like elastic or whatever. And mine reopened, and his did not. And I didn't use any EACA or anything. So, yeah, when I hooked up Meme to the Jeep, and it started giving me heart rate readings and auditory advice, and stuff, that was really cool.
That was sketchy at first because I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
But yeah, that was. I having not done much, I'm liking it. That I kind of want to try taking medic actually because I feel like it's a bigger challenge now.
It is.
And just yeah, it's. I think the setting you chose, Nomad, for it was pretty good for like 25% reopening or 20% or something. I think that's a good whatever at now seems pretty good. Like they reopen sometimes, but for the most part you don't have to worry about it. Which before it felt like it's always gonna happen type of deal. And I just like medics having a harder time, not gonna lie.
So, and the big thing with all this new change is we have to learn to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot more going on than what we're used to. It's not just slap bandages on them, slap blood, and run.
Yeah.
Right.
And
we can't get away with the stuff we used to do.
I wish we could put the thing where they auto heal themselves. I wish that would work worse. I guess so to speak.
That's something I
Worse?
think to talk to the dev about.
I have been talking to them about it. So because we turned it off, Chimp, because I think you missed the first night of relearn. We had
the super soldier night.
Yeah, we had to turn it off because Kyle. Oh no, wait, it wasn't me. Somebody got shot to fuck. They had like probably 5 or 6 gunshot wounds, and we just sat and watched it because we were like, all right, let's see how this works as far as watching somebody like auto claw.
Sounds really morbid.
And it literally healed every wound in a matter of a couple minutes. It turned large velocity into medium into small, and it sealed them right up in just a matter of minutes. And I'm like, well, that's ridiculous.
So he Wolverined?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just pops the bullets out.
And it's like, this would be a really cool mechanic if it wasn't so effective. If it was like a small chance that so you start with 10 of those instances of that being able to happen. So if it was like a 5 or a 10% chance that one instant auto healed and it just tried to use one every 10 seconds, that'd be pretty cool.
I think it would be great if it worked just as well as it did, only for partial wounds, because you've already bandaged them once. So
Yeah.
for partial wounds or for small wounds.
Or or like a scrape or something like that. That would be cool. But just watching somebody heal a 30 caliber wound in the chest is like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you shouldn't be doing
That doesn't happen.
He must have built up his immunity starting at a lower caliber.
Yeah,
right.
started with 9mm, started eating it in a cereal.
But so it's just like, and I talked to him. I don't know if I can go back that far. It's been a little while, but they said that it's a work in progress. Like, that part of it is one of the newest things they've added, so they're still working on it. And I was telling, oh, here we go. I was telling them that telling Nomad and them it's I think Ace Pharmacy is developed by 7th Cav.
It is. That's the dude.
Yeah.
Majeski or whatever his name is.
And it's just their in-house mod, because I think they wanted to use Ace and not Cat Pharmacy or Cat Medical, but they wanted some of the aspects of Cat Medical, and that's what Pharmacy's doing, is bringing some Cat Medical over to Ace, and it also adds some stuff that's not in either. So it's just their attempt at making their own like Ace mod or Ace Medical mod, and it just kind of got real popular. And then you can slap people. I will say I miss, and I knew this was going to happen. Excuse me. I miss, what's it called? Alive already.
What exactly did that do again?
We didn't do shit with it. And I'll tell you why. It's because Alive did not work on Columbia. Like,
is that the one where it like creates an AI general?
it can, yeah. But like for this op I'm making here, what I could do with Alive, because I'm trying to work with AI a bit more, and I already told Nomad, but I'm trying to make us work alongside AI. So in this little op, it's just a continuation of the last little one I made. We won't play it for a few weeks or a couple weeks or something, but we're just playing one little section, and we're helping defend this whole big factory. And there are 2 other sections, also each defending a part of the factory. So we're going to come in, we'll have our sector to defend, while the other AI squads are defending their sectors. And then in the back is a little HQ house with like a platoon HQ element in it, and they are like the HQ. So the idea is, if there was Alive, I could make this platoon HQ actual HQ, and they could actually give orders to these other 2 squads to like defend or fall back to defend the HQ. I could prioritize like positions and shit like that. And it's possible to do it in vanilla, but not at like this scale. Like, you really have to do it very large, and it's very crude how it works. So with what?
I want to touch on that real quick. When you talk about playing alongside the AI, that reminds me of one of my favorite missions you ever made that we did, which was just a little weekend one where we had to go rescue those A&A guys that had their vehicles broke down, and we rolled up in the Humvees and whatnot. That mission sticks in my head for whatever reason as one of the most fun I've ever had. Just because of how it worked.
Every time we just fix their shit, like, all right, bye.
But they
remember
they
that
were
one.
there, and we rolled up as a defense force, blocked the roads, and just unleashed hell. Waited till they were done and got the fuck out.
Yep.
Is that the one on the Afghanistan map?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I love that op, man.
That was pretty fun. It was like, I felt like it was very cinematic too. Like the first time we played through it and nobody knew what was going to happen. And it's like, all right, we're done. Time to go.
I remember yelling at somebody, get on that fucking 50.
Yeah. Because it was just an immediate shit hit the fan type of thing. And then we left. And all those Afghanistan soldiers died immediately.
Not our problem no more.
We were only there to fix their vehicles, not fix their situation.
I tried to use an Apache in that one too for support, but it just fucking Drongos didn't like me. I don't know if I didn't know how to use it right or what, but it did not work. But I like the idea of having a larger scale op, but not needing to have as many people.
Yeah.
So like this, it'll feel like we're part of a larger scale, but there'll only be 4 of us or 5.
Didn't we do that one other time? I want to say back chapter 1 or chapter 2. Not quite to the extent with the AI, but we had this big battle that felt like it was just massive. Because I remember Brian taking a bunch of us in, like a 4-man squad, way ahead of everybody else as a recon element in a Little Bird. I don't remember the name of the mission though. I'm gonna go find
the
it.
bathroom real quick.
Bye. Let's hear that glitch is leaving. I don't know either.
Wait.
Was it a Brian op?
No, it was one of yours. It was on Altus.
Oh, it was on Altus. Well, I mean, there was that one where we
It was the one where I ended up captive. And Kyle was shot me through the door.
Yes, I remember. It was over here. Sophia Forest, Battle of Sophia Forest.
Yep, that's right.
Yes, that was because you guys landed at this little hotel.
Uh-huh.
Where the fuck's the hotel?
Let's
over
see.
here. It's over here.
Because it was me and No Name, and I want to say Chimp, and somebody else. There was like 4 of us.
Yeah, I remember that. And then everybody else was on the ground, and like you were supposed to scout out an enemy position, and then they would come in and clear it out. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. There was no AI though. That was just us. But we did have like 16 or 17 people for that.
Yeah, it was all the way back July 22nd of 2020.
Oh, did you look it up?
he recorded it in his diary. I don't remember that one. I do remember the one where me, Nomad, and somebody else, probably 2 other people, we flew in as there were 2 different factions, like 2 allied factions that we were playing as, and we were I can't remember the name of the group, but the ones who always have their faces blacked out in the operation pictures.
Yeah.
But we went in and we went in to get Greco.
Yep.
That one
was
just by splitting it up by that little bit, to me it felt big.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Sophia Forest was April 1st, 2020.
Yeah, I was looking for it. I'm like, you fucking liar.
Yeah, well, because I just looked for Sophia and
I guess that is a way to do it, isn't it?
Alright, I'm back.
Hello.
Yeah, Sophia Forest. Oh, that was great. Yeah, chapter 1 was fucking amazing.
I love chapter 1, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I got tired of F2Ks and
At least to me.
But then they knocked the building down.
Yep. We got him. Never mind. What happened? They took out the whole building. They did not want him to fall into enemy hands. And now he's gone. That was fucking hilarious. Because I remember
great.
as Zeus, I'm like, what the fuck?
You weren't in the building. We're like, what the hell?
No, I remember I saw that gun and it started, and it just realized we were there, and it's like, oh, okay, and just rotated toward us and hit us with that exploding AA ammunition, and it just knocked the whole building down.
It's so great.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, because in Zeus, I was looking at the ground squad who was just stuck in a building, trying desperately to not die immediately, and I just heard like the ZSU go off, and then just a building collapse, and I'm like, what? And
I think that was
looked over.
ACOG's first op.
Was that ACOG's
I
first
think.
op? Now that you
Oh,
mention it, I think it might have been.
Speaking of ACOG, I miss having an RTO, and I miss talking to ACOG over RTO.
Yeah, he's good
I don't
at
know.
that.
Yeah, that's
goes
another
back,
thing I really liked about Chapter 3.
That goes back to have RTOs all the time. We just need more people. Because it doesn't make sense to have an RTO for a squad of 8. Which I don't have a problem with running with a squad of 8. If I didn't like it, I would. If I wasn't enjoying it because of the size, I would just be doing recruiting like fucking crazy. But like I like our guys, even the ones that I don't always like and I get mad at. I'd rather have them.
Not naming any fingers or pointing any names, but that's probably me.
Well, if the shoe fits.
But yeah, but I would like. I mean, I'm happy. I think my preferred operation size is like 20 dudes. Because bigger than that is like, I feel like I'll start drawing on frames and stuff. But 20 is enough to have a couple good teams or squads on the ground with a couple assets.
Yeah.
I really like small team tactics.
Yeah. Well, come to my fucking Altus ops.
Listen, I missed one. Eat a dick.
You literally only missed one. Too. It was good though. It was fun. Blaze was there. It was great. But yeah. Oh, we got on this from Alive. But I think with chapter 6, Alive's gonna come in a lot of handy in the desert there. It's gonna be real nice having. Oh, Blaze said nice car. It's gonna be really nice having Alive because it'll allow the civilians to be more prevalent. And what else it'll allow is AI, and for that type of area, it'll make AI kind of like come wherever, and it'll fit that war. It'll fit the Afghanistan war of just like bad guys can be in any house, because you can set them up to be insurgents, and they will just sit in a house waiting for you to come by and ambush you.
Suicide bombers need to be prevalent.
Yep, they can do that too. AI can do, or Alive can do.
Oh yeah, they're really good at that.
Yeah. So
Just have
That's
them
about-
mixed in with the
that's about-
civilian population, man.
Yeah, that's about the only thing they're good at. So, okay, here's one thing that I want to work in as part of my missions in Chapter 6 and stuff is, having more civilians. I want to make the zones that we're in feel more alive, not to bring out a pun. But so I kind of want to start pushing the file size a little bit more, as far as like dropping in some more of those civilian assets and stuff, and not making it feel like such a dead world. And the other thing that I want to see about doing is figuring out how to get a script so that civilians will some of the civilians will flip from being a civilian to Op4. There's a mission, kind of like a freeform mission on the workshop. Some of you probably have seen it. Like, it's called Dynamic Recon Ops.
Yep.
And in that mission, you can set it so that the AI, basically you always have to be watching your back when you're going into those sectors, because there's civilians everywhere, not just enemy, but the civilians, and they'll pull guns on you as soon as you turn your back to them.
So what that is Alive.
Okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure Alive does that as well. Alive will do a lot of shit. I didn't push it far in Chapter 4 because, like I said, it didn't work on Columbia. and that was
Right. The main map.
Yeah, and that's just because Columbia is a new map, and when Alive you have to, and they tell you right in the mod, there's a module for mapping a map, so to speak, where you just let it run and it like explores the map and learns the map and shit.
Yeah,
But-
you're marking all the places to hide and where to go
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
pathing and everything and the
So-
roads. Yeah.
So a bunch of people have to do that before they can start using Alive on that map, and like they have to update the mod to
Ah.
yeah. It's like, eventually it'll get there, but for us it just wasn't. an
Wasn't
option.
ready.
Yeah. Which it upset me. But Alive can do all that, and one of my favorite things is, thanks for spreading out, everybody. Alive will say, is the commander. So if, for example, we had the battle for Sophia Forest over here again, and there were 3 enemy bases placed down, the AI would be like, you can prioritize their commanders, say, all right, defend these 3 bases, but this one's your most important. So they'll like constantly be fighting against you. So they might like
Yeah.
say, oh, I'm just going to abandon this one base and then counterattack it as soon as they take it, or something like that. So it just adds that element of
Dynamic.
yeah, that you don't get anywhere else, and it'll help mission making. The other reason I stopped using it is because anytime I did use it, I deleted it because it didn't feel like my mission. It felt like Alive's mission, and I didn't like that. But I think I can just learn that better and not have to worry about it. And then you can set Alive up to command friendlies too, and be like, friendlies attack the bad guys, and that'll all go on, and you can have your own little side mission to do while that's going on, which is something that I didn't never explored. Should have. But I'm a horrible person.
Are there any mods that are going to be adding for Chapter 6?
Aside from the maps and the faction mods.
Yeah.
Oh, we're switching to
Oh.
Cup.
Yep, switching the cup,
Oh, good old cup mods.
Yeah, we're not gonna do RHS. We're gonna do Cup.
which I am so fucking
Yeah.
excited for, dude.
It means
That'll allow us to do so much more.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I use personally is cup units, cup
I was
weapons,
so
cup
tired
vehicles.
of RHS.
Yeah, I like RHS, but it's definitely time for Cup for a little while at least. Chapter 6.
I assume you're gonna get interiors for cup as well.
Interiors. What is this mod you speak of?
Interiors for cup. It basically on your vanilla maps and stuff, basically adds a whole bunch of interiors, like interior to buildings and stuff that you can go in.
Oh,
I
that's
use it
cool.
all the time.
It basically
Yeah.
fixes Chernarus.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Chernarus, where no building is enterable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be really cool because other than that, you have to get Chernarus 2022.
Which isn't quite finished.
Yeah, and if you remember for Chapter 2, anytime we were going into a town, I would just erase the town and rebuild it. Because I'm like, well, this building needs to be enterable. Otherwise, we're just fighting through streets instead of in a town.
Right.
That's a wreck. Stop there, John. The defense up. So Cup, there's a uniform faction mod that Nomad found. That adds like most of the world's uniforms in it. It's pretty cool. And I think one of the big things we may do is have I forgot what I was saying. Oh, we may not change mods as much. Like when we switch from 6 to 7, instead of like a whole new mod pack, it might just be
Maps, probably.
yeah, take out these couple mods, add this mod or these 2 mods or something, instead of doing a whole big mod pack for
Right.
for that, because if we're having shorter chapters, I don't want to make people, download all new mods and shit.
I'll send
Which-
you that camo mod so you can have a look at it.
Which, I mean, 2 weeks ago when we had the start of this chapter, it's kind of it was kind of frustrating, but at the same time it was kind of understandable. The the like, I don't know, what I found frustrating about it was like, everyone came in and everyone was not prepared with the mod list and stuff, and they came in basically 3 minutes after we're supposed to start and didn't have half the stuff loaded up. But on the other hand, I can understand that we're changing entire mod list, and like like you said, cutting down on changing the entire mod list and just changing maps and a couple things is going to be a lot better for that. So,
Yeah.
On one hand, it frustrated me because I was like, how is nobody fucking prepared? I literally heard Travis, say it's in the mod, it's in the mod list in the announcement. He said that like 4 or 5 times. This is important info. Like,
A lot of the problem was the fact that Arma doesn't automatically enable DLC.
Yeah.
I know at least 3 people, including me, that happened to.
Yeah.
So we had to back out and restart.
Yeah.
But that's something that happens every chapter. I find myself.
Yeah.
Like, just like, it's in the mod pack, it's in the mod pack. And that's one reason I waited so long to release the mod pack, aside from wanting to, tease everybody with this chapter, was just because, like, for going into chapter 3 and chapter 4, when I released it a few weeks in advance, because I want people to have an opportunity to download it in advance, because I know there's some people like No Name who it takes a while to download those mods, and I want you
Yeah.
to have as much time as possible to download those mods in case you have to do it on a Tuesday night or one Monday night or some shit. But the issue when I do that is, if I release it, say we were starting a new chapter on October 5th, and I release the mod pack today, for the 21st and the 28th, literally everybody's going to be like, what mod pack are we using? And I'm just like, it's not, it's the old one, because the chapter starts on the 5th, and they're like, oh. And it's just like, so it's just one of those things that's always gonna happen, and
Yeah.
it's sad.
But I think an improvement that I'm going to try to do for next chapter is, I think I'll put out a just like a general message and say, hey, look, on these days, Monday, Tuesday, leading up to the start of the first, the next chapter, I will be on to assist anybody who's trying to get on and check their mod list. Make sure you can get onto the server, and like, put that out as an offer and be like, hey, come a day or two early and, come log on to the server, join the server, make sure everything is working with your new mod list with TeamSpeak and everything, as an offer. And maybe that'll help
That would
mitigate
help.
the issues.
Don't mind me. No, that would definitely help, because that is a big issue, and it's not always something that I can do. I usually work, and a lot of times right before we drop a chapter, I'm just like not interested in Arma as much until the chapter starts, because I burn myself out of this game a lot by getting ready for chapter switches and stuff. Because I get all these like plans and like, ooh, this will be fun, this will be fun, this will be fun. And then I'll work
Yeah,
real
yeah.
hard, and then I'm like, all right. I
And
don't wanna
building
do
all of our
anything.
base training maps and all that stuff, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I gotta go back to that. But like a big one, oh, I can't show you, is the El Dorado video I'm working on for chapter 4, like the victory video and shit. Um,
Yeah, well, if you need me to help with that, all that shit, just let me know. But yeah, that's my plan. Is I think for the next chapter is I'll put it out like a week before, and then again another couple days before, because usually I'm on for an hour or two every single night. So I'll put out a couple times and dates, and like, hey, look, I'll have the server up. Come try to join the server. Make sure your TeamSpeak's working. Make sure your new mod list is working.
I'm showing anybody who's watching where all the secret rates are.
You're hiding them in the forest.
I am.
I already know where the one I want is, so I'll let
Yeah,
you
I know
Well,
where the
I
one I
like
want is too.
a lot of shit that was in the embassy defense never got touched because it was like too well hidden. And it's like it doesn't always spawn, you know? So like my idea is somebody will for the one I'm showing right now, they'll see this crate one time, like during a fight, and be like, "Oh, I should try to get that," but then it's not there another time. So,
Yeah.
but I
I
don't
did
want
that
it to.
in chapter 3 with the
Oh,
Barrett that was on the balcony.
yes, that
I
was
got
great.
it once, and it was never there again.
Oh, yeah, that was great. I should make this blow up if you stay in here too long.
That's so mean.
Oh, look at this crate. With this one, I literally, for anybody who's watching, the original fence was on this hill, and I had this.
We can't see it yet. We got a delay.
um,
I see the stack of crates that you're moving around right now.
yeah. But yeah, like there's one thing that was on a 1% chance to spawn last chapter. I checked it every single time I played it. It never spawned. I put it in this chapter, and it has a 2% chance to spawn.
Ooh,
So
doubled.
yeah. So I still try to check it as much as I can. I'm not going to show you guys where it is. It's insanely useful though, and it's great. Yeah, this is with no meds thing right here. You guys will see it in a second. Um,
Never played the defense lot before. First crate I opened.
yeah, right. Like, and
And
it's got a small chance to spawn too. And like I hit
it's
it
got
there.
a really small chance, and we've got it twice now.
I hit it there. Yeah, it's at 18%. And I hit it there from fucking Nomad and everything. He's like, "Oh, look at this, look what I got, guys."
I got saw, heat seeking vision.
There's
He's
he can
vision.
sniff it. There's a saw
Like a
around
drug
here
dog.
somewhere. But yeah, and then yeah, yeah. We're talking about. I just talked to Kyle about it today. Doing like a Rolling Thunder style op.
That'd be cool.
Oh, heartburn. Yeah. Um, as for fixed wing training, I'm not sure entirely how I want to do it. I know I want it to be harder than last time, which had is it 60%? What's 2 out of 8? 25% pass rate.
That's
That's a big difference
that's
from
quite
60.
a bit, yeah.
Well, I was thinking of fail rate, the first one. The first one was going to be fail rate. So it had a 75% fail rate. I want it to be at least that. Like, no offense to anybody, but we don't do fixed wing a lot, and I want to, I don't want to deny it to the guys who want it, which most people who want it are going to also be rotor wing trained, and they don't mingle. So, like, I just took that fixed wing op a couple weeks ago, so I'm not eligible for rotor wing either for a while. And the same goes for like if Chimp takes a rotor wing op next, he won't be eligible for fixed wing unless nobody else is. And right now, all our fixed wing pilots are not in reserve. So, yeah.
I want the sniper course to be the same way. Like,
Yeah,
I want you to work for it.
I want to make the sniper course also the same as like make it a specialty slot where if you take it, you can't take it again.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
But my issue and the reason I don't do that is, Nomad, you'd never have an opportunity to do it again. It's your only
Yeah, no
specialty
shit.
slot. So every time you take it, I'm like, come on, Nomad, let somebody else do it. And then I'm like, wait, all those other guys get to fly
Who
fucking
else is gonna
helicopters,
take
so
it?
fuck them. It's Nomad's only fucking thing he can do. Which is also why it'd be cool to do it more often with Chapter 6. That way it doesn't come up
I
once a
think-
chapter.
In all honesty too, I get it maybe once a chapter, so it's not like it's that big of a deal either.
You're not like
It's not every
yeah,
week,
well,
you know.
Oh, Nomad, you're watching the stream, right? Hold on. Let me show you
I
something.
can't hang on.
Yeah, go watch it. I'll show you something.
Alright.
Yeah, cause like I don't want to stop. Like I want to stop you from hogging it, but at the same time, I'm like, well, no, you deserve a special slot. And I think anybody else who's sniper trained is also rotor wing trained.
No Name's the only other one.
Yeah,
I thought I was.
you're rotor wing trained. And fixed.
And,
Wait,
and
are you-
fixed.
I'm confused.
We're talking
thought we were
about
talking about
having
sniper.
a specialty slot.
Yeah,
we
that's
are.
sniper trained, but not anything else.
Okay,
Here you go. Here we
understood.
go. Here you go, Nomad. Are you watching?
I'm stuck on your Altus loading screen right now.
Yeah, and that'll if we're using the slot more, it'll be different. You know?
Yeah, people will start asking for it.
Yeah, but like we do it once every 6 months, and nobody even bats an eyelash at it.
Right. Well, that's why.
Oh,
that's
fuck
why.
that
Like,
guy.
I think. That's why I think we should try to put as many specialty slots in as possible, because you know it's only going to increase the the hype and the desire.
Yeah, and so something else I thought would be cool to do, and I'd like to try to get it working, is like for rotor wing, another thing they can be doing during the whole like as we're fighting thing is they can be dropping AI guys off. Like it's possible to have an AI unit sit down, hold at a spot, wait for a helicopter to arrive, board that helicopter, and get off when that helicopter arrives at another spot. So we can sit there and say, all right, while our transport chopper is like they drop us off, then they have to go back and transport another squad somewhere else.
That'd be
And-
really cool.
Yeah, and it gives them something to do for a while as opposed to just loiter.
All we need to do is fucking figure out how to do it once, and then we can copy it to any mission.
That's what I do with everything.
Yeah. No, I mean,
What's in here? Something stupid, I think. Nope. But yeah, and then we'll use rotor wings because who flew last? Meme,
yes.
and he made the comment of he's not gonna fly again for a year. And at first I'm like, no, come on, Meme. But then I'm like, nope, that's right. He probably won't fly for a year, and that's like, like I don't want that. I don't want to like say, oh, you gotta wait a year before you can fly for us again. Which is why it'd be cool to have just use it more. Or something I like to do for fixed wing, which I'm gonna do again this chapter. I'm gonna do a dedicated fixed wing op for Rolling Thunder. That's just gonna be for fixed wing pilots. But like you can do that for rotor wing too. I can make an op that's just helicopter pilots. And say, all right, you guys are dropping off infantry here, and then you gotta go get resupply, bring it back, and just like Logi time or something. I don't know.
Something like
Yeah,
that'd
it'd
be cool to do with like a 2 or 3 man sniper squad too.
Yeah.
Go out and recon before like a big op.
And
It
we've
would
done
also
that in
be
the past.
really
That always
cool.
worked nice.
Say again?
We've done that in the past, and it always worked really well whenever we did manage to implement that.
Yeah, I think it'd also be kind of cool to. I mean, you can also load up a bird with, with more than one person. During that helicopter mission, you could have one person doing logistics, and he's got, another bird with two door gunners, who are not, rotor wing pilot certified,
Yeah.
Which I always
escorting him.
enjoy.
But I don't know. I think we just need to get, not saying that you're not, creative or thinking out of the box, but I think we need to get a little more creative in the future with involving that
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of stuff, so that it gets more commonplace. Because I agree with you. I mean, I agree with Meme's frustrations. He's not wrong. Those slots do come up pretty pretty infrequently. But I think, the one option is, we get more people so that we can always have that going. And the other option is just to, have those, we choose missions to, just be vehicle
Yeah.
based or specialty based. Have one or two sniper teams lead small teams on a recon op while all the pilots are running stuff.
Like how we did it with the assassination of Jacobo with the sniper team was flawless in my opinion. We had our own set of objectives to do while the other team did what they did, and
Yeah.
to me it worked out perfect.
Yeah. That honestly could have used a fucking pilot.
Yeah.
That needed a pilot real bad.
Yeah, we were doing a lot of walking on that one.
And that's something I think because Kyle's got he needs another pilot for this week. So that's real cool.
Something that he's trying to work in.
Yeah, he's gonna work it in a lot more. And I think with last week's op, it
That worked
didn't.
really well.
Yeah, it didn't feel overpowered with the cast. Like the cast that Meme was providing. I mean, it felt good, but at no point was I like, oh, I think that cast just took out all the bad guys. We're safe now. I was like, well, that cast was probably wildly ineffective, and there's probably 100 bad guys over there. So.
I might be cynical too, but I thought the same exact thing. I was like, I hope he's having fun because I really don't think he did anything. But
Yeah.
as long as he's happy and it's keeping the enemy's head down, I guess I'm okay.
Yep.
Chapter 6 too, just because of the theater and the who we are, could really work in helicopters as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, those are big maps, big open areas.
I would like, if you remember Contract Abrade, a series of missions I made in OG, I would like to remake a lot of them for Chapter 6. And a lot of them are helicopter based. It's all loosely based on the game Black Hawk Down. Which I don't know if any of you played that.
I love Black Hawk Down.
That game was amazing.
I've played through the Arma Black Hawk Down missions. They're kind of fun. And then I also made I took that map and I made
Mogadishu?
Yeah, I took the Mogadishu map and I remade it. I think I still have it. I remade the Black Hawk Down
I feel
whole
like
scenario.
I've tried to make Black Hawk Down missions twice. Like not exactly like that, but like that style of we go in via helo and get fucked up. And I think in my opinion, both of them were solid missions. It was the Embassy Siege mission. The introduction of the PMCs, CIA PMCs there where
oh yeah, when we got shot down?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
and then the Hunt for Greco Cesaro was a Black Hawk Down style mission. And I feel like they both turned out well for the amount of players we had. I think the Siege one wanted a few more. And I did like how only like 2 or 3 people survived. But in both of them, there was an opportunity to get it done and leave immediately. It just didn't happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely gonna try to make that into one of my missions. Is have like have smaller groups. Have one little group going around on a couple birds doing logistics missions and escort. Have one little group going around in an armored vehicle, maybe like reconning stuff or like patrolling through a town, and then have one little group like a sniper team going out. You know, as Overwatch. Of the vehicle going through the city or whatnot, and try that out instead of all of us together infantry assault and one person split off as the specialty. Try to have little specialty groups that is led by each one of our more experienced people as their specialty, and
And like,
maybe that's go ahead.
And like from a sniper's perspective, at least in myself, we don't have to always take shots at somebody during an op. Our job is to scout and recon and tell you guys what's there, to move ahead, to hide, to maneuver around them, and give you guys information. So if you wanted to incorporate it that way, that's fine too. That's what our job is.
We've done that in
Taking
the
the
past,
shot
too.
is a small part.
I don't recall what op it was, but Paladin and I we got pulled off to do recon, and we ended up on one side. It was a huge quarry, and it was I'm trying to remember the op. There were 3 routes into this specific place where we were trying to assassinate a dude. And it was in the middle of a massive quarry, and so we were stationed on the opposite side of the quarry to do the recon. And all we did is we sat there and we, over the radio, we let the rest of the team know what was happening, and we did counts, and that was basically it. Counts, eyes, and then we got out.
Yeah, I
That was
remember
fun.
that. That was with Brian's campaign.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah. It was part of Brian's
Yeah, I
campaign.
remember that now. Yeah, from the beginning of this chapter. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
And that was fun. I liked that. I didn't have to shoot at somebody.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was really good. It's hard for me to remember all that shit because most of the time, like when I remember things, it's because I'm talking on the radio and looking at a map and making plans and corralling everyone.
Hey
Rarely.
guys, if you want to know something, when Glitch is drunk, he kind of becomes a kitten.
A what?
Kitten.
A kitten?
Yeah, kitten.
How so?
It means we gotta stay on you.
Oh.
When you're drunk, you fucking kind of go off and fuck around a bit.
Yeah. No,
I
that
was-
was me
I
on
was like-
Friday.
It's like, Glitch, what the fuck? This isn't you. Who is this guy? I don't like him.
Yeah, that was a fun Friday.
That was.
Um,
I saw a lot of fun.
Speaking of drunk, this last Wednesday, I think it was Groot.
Groot,
After-
yeah.
yeah.
Groot was
He-
fucking hammered.
And he hadn't played Arma in a long time.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think it was me and you, Glitch? We were
Yeah, it
back
was.
there and we were like, hit tilde. Press F. You're punching the air.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
fucking-
because he was like, well, why is my gun not firing? Why does it say melee up in the right corner? Like I basically had to teach him how to. Well, Chip and I basically had to teach him how to be a gunner all over again
Yeah.
from scratch while we were trying to support your team.
To be fair, melee is not in the base game.
Yeah,
Nah.
and I don't like it on the.
That's why I added that mod to get rid of it in my fire modes.
My thing is like I got used to it quick, and I feel like
I
if I
need that
take
mod.
it away, I'm gonna need it, and I'm gonna be like, fuck, oh my god, how do I? Oh gosh,
I
and then
don't
I'm just
ever
gonna die.
plan to need it, so
I plan to need it because I know Kyle, and we're gonna need it.
same thing with a pistol. I don't carry pistols for the same reason. If I need it, we're fucked.
Yeah.
That is also true. But yeah, and then you want to talk about lambs? I could spend about 5 days talking about lambs and how amazing.
You
it
have
is.
such a hard on for lambs.
Oh my god.
I enjoyed using lambs as a mission editor.
So Glitch, I sat when I was making that last
Here we
Friday.
go again.
There was an AI squad that assaulted that town, right?
Yeah.
They were set to a lamb's assault. When we did it, I set them to CQB, which is probably why they all died in one house. But I should have left it as assault because what they did was they split off into 2 3-man teams or 2 4-man teams because it was an 8-man squad. They would split off into 2 4-man teams and push up on the town. And then once they got to that road before the town, the squad leader would stay back and take cover while the 7 dudes pushed up in 2 teams. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, look at this. Look at fucking lambs at work here. This is
Yeah.
amazing. They're prioritizing keeping their commander alive. It's beautiful.
That's cool.
And I can't get enough of fucking lambs. I really can't.
Yeah. No, Lambs is good. I enjoyed using it. Well, speaking of Lambs and Mission Maker, I know Travis and I have talked about it at length over the last chapter and everything. Did anyone rest of the group have anything for the couple of missions that I did, as far as like anything that they saw or things that need improvement or adjustment or anything like that?
So my only big thing is briefings, but I'll say this with a grain of salt. I am very, very biased to Travis's style of briefings because that has been our norm for 2 years.
Yeah.
And that is nothing against you at all, Glitch. It throws me off to see a different style.
What specifically threw you for a loop?
You use a lot more of real world technical jargon, such as most likely course of action, and things like that. That isn't in Travis's simplistic style briefing. That's easy to read when you're looking for one specific piece of information.
Just called you simple.
To look right back at something. Okay, I need to go here and do this.
I'm simple. I'm fine.
Kiss, baby. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. And that's something that one of the things I'm playing with these alternative ops and Altus that you might have noticed, Glitches. I kind of want to do away with our whole briefing style together and have it be in operation. We sit down and there's a slideshow and we can look at the briefing and do the briefing, and the guy can read the briefing, and then in the briefing tab in the game, it's just the important things. So when you open up your map and go
it's
to
just the cliff
briefing,
notes.
yeah, it's just what you need. It's not the
Which is amazing.
Yeah, we don't need the whole situation in the fucking thing. Like we can speak that. It's fine. You can talk about it.
Speak that or leave that for the what's the channel called in the the story.
Storyboard?
Yeah, briefs.
Yeah.
The story recap or the briefs and debriefs.
Because like I said, when in the middle of a firefight, when you're trying to figure out what to do, you just want to look and see, okay, this is what I need to do. This is where I need to be.
Right.
Short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah.
I don't want to read through 8 paragraphs to try to find the one piece of information I need.
And because I love to write a briefing, I love a long situation.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I do too.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be. And I think it feels better if it's in game and you're just sitting watching a slideshow or listening to somebody talk, because you're not trying to follow along. You're either paying attention to the briefing or diddling your toy,
Yeah.
Or definitely not drawing smiley faces.
Yeah, nobody here draws smiley faces.
Nobody.
And
That would just be childish.
It would.
Who would do that?
It goes
They're kinda
completely
loser.
against our entire in the rules. It straight up says.
It is
I was
actually
just
in the
about to say, I'm
rules.
pretty sure it's in the rules.
Yeah, do not
It
draw.
is.
on
Rule
that.
breakers, man.
Yeah. And so I know nobody among us would
No, never. We're all too professional.
dare.
If there's
Draws.
one thing we all do, it's follow all the rules all the time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Absolutely. I've
Every
never
time.
committed a war crime.
No, not at all.
But like I said, Glitch, it's nothing against you personally at all.
He
This is
hates
just
you.
what I'm used to.
Yeah, he just hates you.
Yeah.
That's what he
I
said.
know. I really hate Travis, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I believe that.
Well, anything else besides making the briefings simpler for more simple-minded folk?
That I agree with Nomad on that. I would like simpler briefings. I like the technical jargon. I really do. But not all the time. So for like chapter 6, if we're playing if we ever play bigger factions, that would use jargon like that, then definitely. But like I always try to keep my briefings in theme with the faction that we play. So like with the cartels, I never did too much with the um enemy forces and stuff, or what they would have intel on, because they probably wouldn't know. They're more of just like charging in a fucking battle because they're dumbasses. They're just fucking cartel guys. They don't have the training and the experience level that U.S. Rangers have. And I always try to make U.S. Rangers briefings a little more in depth and technical because they would have all that shit.
Right.
But as for your actual missions go, I would say they were pretty great. They were Zeus missions, but not fully Zeus, I guess. I don't know. I have an opinion about Zeus missions that I keep to myself.
Yeah, well, I'm not as proficient with the with all the trigger,
See,
which I'm
and-
getting better.
And
I'm
I
getting better
honestly,
with
I
that.
end up Zeusing more than I'd like.
I like the Zeus ops because they can be edited and changed as needed on the fly.
They do
Yeah.
have a special thing about them for like they have their place. They're good like that. But like for me, I like to tell a story and I like to also be part of it. So that's why I also like I make a lot of shit that we never see. Like I don't have any loaded up. Like there's in that first op that we did for Rangers that I made there, that jump op, we didn't see 90% of the shit I put down because I filled up that whole fucking area just with shit because I wanted it to feel like they might sneak up on us. I wanted to feel kind of like a Zeus op without being a Zeus op. And that's what I always try to make is
Right.
Zeus ops that don't, or non-Zeus ops that feel like they're Zeus. But that's just, and look at that. That's just me trying to emulate Zeusing.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just a Remy fanboy at the end of the day.
We know.
Yeah, I like Remy.
Yeah. I enjoy some of his stuff too.
Just gonna fucking put random ass birds down. But the other thing we were talking about earlier was training maps. You said you might want to make one, and something I've been thinking about is having multiple training maps.
Yeah.
So if you could make one, I could make one, and then when we get a new guy, we can be like, do you want to do the Altis Defense Force, or do you want to do the Turkish army for your?
Oh yeah, like have a couple
Yeah.
options.
Yeah. And that way, it's just kind of cool. Gives the briefers or the guys doing the indoc or the training like some selection. But then people like Nomad who just want one.
I want one with everything.
Yeah. And that way there's two with everything, and he could just use the one he wants all the time.
Right.
Because Nomad is a big boy, do what he wants.
I'm strong.
Well,
independent black
he's just gonna get in and Zeus it anyway. What does it matter?
We need an op for this thing. Just the guns a go.
I know. I was checking it out the other week. It's got so many fucking guns on it.
Like you could put 7 people in there, and you've just crewed every slot in the fucking thing.
Yeah, it's got a gunner slot and then 5 fucking door gun slots.
Yeah, and then a pilot.
Yeah,
We could make a whole op night and we just fly that thing around, fucking annihilating shit.
I'm good with it.
Like
and then
see
have
somebody-
it crash, and then we all escape and invade.
Yeah,
Oh,
except.
dude, I would love to do some seer stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that too.
Jump
So
on
here's
raw
the
gun
other
in the
thing.
line.
Here's the other thing that I want to try in the next chapter for a mission is I want to do that. I want to take a 2-man team and start them completely across the map, and
Volunteer.
that's where they start. And the mission is to go locate, and they're not on radio, none of that. Like they have to escape and evade, and we have a search area, and we have to go find them and rescue them.
I volunteer champ too.
Yes.
What
You don't
about
have
me?
to. You don't have to because I'm
See,
volunteering
because
myself.
the last time we did this was me and Chimp when we did one of those things. We're not going to discuss it right now because of the stream, but we got the shit scared out of us because of an IED.
Yes. Yes.
Dude, I literally
Yes.
almost pissed myself.
You
Yeah.
literally jumped. I heard you jump.
Holy shit,
That
it
was
got me good.
But we did that. Probably one of my, it might have been my overall favorite TVT from OG days. Was a small team. Was one side and the other side was trying to find them. And
What's wrong
that
with the house?
maybe I know it was on Thirsk Winter, I think.
I don't think that's what I'm thinking of then.
But it was so cool because it was that whole escape and evade thing, and the search team has a fucking they have not that they have a helicopter with a thing on it. What's it called?
A camera,
That's it.
thermal.
Yeah, a camera and a thermal case. So you're hiding in bushes and oh, it was just a lot of fun and real tense the whole time. I liked it.
Ooh, me. I think it was me, Nomad, and No Name did something like that, where we were just after No Name.
Oh,
Because they
yeah.
killed my patient. They
Yep,
killed my
that's what
hospital
it
patient.
was.
Yep, that's right. And then there was another time that I just before an op, we were just messing around on the training map, and it was Eagle wanted to fly a little bird around, so he was flying around, and then I just said, "Hey Blaze, I'm gonna give you a quick land nav test." So I teleported him to the middle of the woods, and then made it nighttime. And then I told him, "Okay, get back to the airfield, and also, Eagle, you're gonna try and find him the whole time."
That's
And
really cool.
it was fun to watch. I think they had fun doing it.
I always think back to Nomad when we had to do that land nav in the dark on
Oh.
Sonoa, man. God, that shit was fun.
I got real pissed off for that. I don't know if you know, but like I died at the town in the graveyard of all
Really?
places. Yeah. I got spotted and killed, right? And Brian just kept fucking healing me. So I'd get up and get shot and go down, and he just kept doing it, and I just got real. I actually rage quit. Probably the only time I rage quit from fucking Arma. But I'm like, this
I just
fucking
remember
horse shit.
Me and Jake belly crawling through some elephant grass, and there's helicopters everywhere above us. So I'm like, dude, we are so screwed.
Oh yeah, that was really fun though. I was actually really upset that I rage quit because yeah, but I did. It couldn't be undone. But anyways,
Put every helicopter down.
so more fixed wing stuff, huh? Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
fixed wing all the time. I know Glitch wants to do it, and
Yes.
I think in January I'm gonna start a new class, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just worried about people getting pissed off when they fail. So I think the only person who made it all the way through last time and then failed was Meme. But like, he was
What
a
did
true.
he? What did he fail?
The final, the test.
Oh, okay.
There was 3 days of training and then a one-on-one test. So like 3 days of class training and then a one-on-one test. It wasn't like 100% class training. It was more of me just explaining shit, and then we'd go out and we'd fly around for a bit and practice it. So I guess training. But yeah, the test was like real fucking hard. I think, Champ, you took it in the vanilla F-18, right?
In the Black Wasp.
Yeah. Because I just the way it was set up was, um, day one we went over a Cessna and of the Buzzard, the single jet engine aircraft for the Independent for AAF. And then day
Mhm.
two we went over the Raphael, I forgot the Griffin, the TOW 199, I think, or did we? I don't think we did the TOW 99. I don't know, but each day we went over different planes, and like their uses and shit. And then at the end of it, when it came to your final, I let everybody pick what they wanted to take their final in, and then I catered their test based around whatever they chose.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good because it's
Well, yeah, because
given them a little bit of a little
As-
advantage because that's what
As
they're
a
most
as a
comfortable
pilot,
in.
you really specialize in some planes too.
yeah, and it
And-
lets you pick which one you're most comfortable with.
That's an idea I stole from you for the sniper training, is to let them pick their system and get proficient with it first.
Oh, so can I pick a
Absolutely.
F2000?
Steal something.
F2000.
Absolutely. If you can hit something from 1,200 meters, be my guest.
You're just gonna see me aiming up into the air.
Makes me think of the time we put those 20x scopes on those PP2000s.
That's the same time I watched you hit a target from 250 meters with buckshot out of a thumper.
Yep.
Okay, everybody. I'm getting sleepy. I got work tomorrow.
All right, bye.
I'm out.
Bye, champ.
Bye.
Yeah.
Love you. Oh, he left. You didn't hear it.
Get fucked.
Is there anything anybody else wants to talk about? Like, I mean, I just like to talk about fucking Arma. So
You just like to talk.
that's true.
I also like to talk. Leadership training.
Are you watching stream?
Yeah, I am.
Boom. That's where it's gonna be. All right, you'll see in a minute.
Yeah, I'll see you in a minute.
So with training and stuff,
Oh, that
I mean,
campus. Oh, that's cool.
Nomad's head honcho trainer guy, but like I haven't been pushing much for it because I don't know. I just feel like we don't.
It's just beating my head off the desk, man. Nobody
Yeah.
comes. What's the point of putting all the effort?
Exactly, and it's
I
like
just-
Part of
I
the
don't know.
problem is we don't use specialty slots enough,
yeah,
Right.
which goes
So-
back to that other.
I want to get us rolling on a better format of operations, and then move into training and like a better.
Our current format we
recruiting.
have for training, I like one big one every 3 months.
Yeah,
I like the way that works.
that's good, and then we can do other little ones throughout, and we can keep. I mean, I think we really need to work on land nav.
Yeah.
which
but,
we can
big
do this
one.
month because Vietnam is a bitch to land nav.
Is it better? Is it worse than Kujari? Come
I don't know. Kujari sucked.
on.
Wow, that map got me.
All right, so
I
is
like to
it-
think I'm pretty good at land nav, and I was lost.
are we doing it at the sand dune or at the
Other
sand
sand dune.
The rock pile.
There should be a road within 3 kilometers of here that we can find if we head east, unless we're not here, in which case we're fucked.
Even when you told us where we were, I was lost. Like, I don't know where the hell I'm looking.
Oh, that was great. That was great. But yeah, like once we get like a more, I hate to say steady influx of new people, but most people don't stick around. Most people play a few ops and then they're gone.
Yep.
Um,
Our core is our core.
Yeah. So it's sad, but we need a steady influx of new people. And Arma 3, as unfortunate as it is a dying game.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Would help if it ran properly.
yeah, for sure. But they are doing a lot more sales and stuff now. Blaze, these are helicopters. I think you're talking about the bananas. Those are bananas. But once we have that going, and I think once we're using those specialty slots more and proving that we're a core group and an organized in-op and stuff, like I feel like I've just been unorganized when it comes to operations, and like it's just on me. I don't know if you guys feel it. It could just be me.
I don't think so.
I don't see unorganized.
Yeah, I don't see unorganized. I mean, you might. I mean, you have a. How do I put this? I mean, you have a level, not of perfectionism, but you have a level of, that you want things to
Quality.
be at. Yeah, a level of quality. Thank you. You have a level of quality that, is clearly not being met by you, but it's a level of quality that we all think is well adequate. Is very adequate and very
Yeah.
and it's good. And you're just your level of quality is just above ours.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm happy that Glitch is here to make missions now, because I can spend 2 weeks making a mission. Because sometimes I don't get to make a mission until Monday or Tuesday, and
Yeah.
I need to know what I'm doing that mission before then. Like Sunday, I like to give everybody an idea of what we're doing that coming week. So those who maybe only want to come every other week, or who are feeling a little burnt out or something, or like for example, Nomad. Not saying anything bad about you, but like because you might not want to come. You don't, you might be a
I
little
do that a
burnt
lot.
out. Yeah, like you are. I'm sure now you're just a little burnt out. But if you see like an op and you're like, that actually sounds really fun, I'd like to play that. That way you can know in advance whether or not you'd like to play it, instead of
And
missing out on
honestly,
something fun or taking a day off when you shouldn't have.
that's exactly what I did this week.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna come, and then I seen, oh, it's an aerosol. That could be fun. Why not? Let's go. And that's how I make my decision. Because some days I really just don't feel it, man.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against nobody. It's like, man, I don't want to do this.
I don't blame you, and I just like to give everybody who may or may not be feeling it the opportunity to know whether or not they're going to enjoy that night beforehand. But that means I announce what we're doing, and I might start making that op and go, I really don't feel like making this op, but now I have to. So now that Glitch is here, I have plenty of time to make these ops, and I can do shit that I can fuck with shit that I wasn't testing and fucking with before, because I felt so pressured to make that one op. So, all in all, thanks, Glitch.
I'm here for you.
What are these?
Clearly.
SOG or the end?
Like before the chapter came out, I was so excited for Vietnam, and after a couple of missions, I don't know. I lost the spark. I don't have it. Nothing has caught my interest.
So let's talk about this now. We've all talked about this except for Glitch, and I just want Glitch's opinion. How do you like the music?
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh. So, I think it's a neat idea. I think it's unique. I think that it can definitely add something. When it gets in the way of conducting the mission, it kind of pissed me off earlier this week. I'll be honest. I was planning. I was looking at the map. Blaze and I were like literally discussing what our plan wanted to be, and here comes the music man playing music and asking me. He asked Blaze. Like Blaze and I were literally in the middle of a conversation about the the next phase of the operation, and he's like, "Hey Blaze, does this music fit or not?" It's like I got it. Like it's cool. It's a unique thing, and if we do it while we're traveling, to break up the monotony of flying across the map, which I don't think that's monotonous at all, but for some people it might be. I think great, more power to you. It's a unique thing. I think it's cool. It just has its place, and in the middle of operation when we're getting shot at or trying to plan or in between objectives, that's not the place for it. Which I told them that after the mission, because I think you all were not here except for Chimp. I think Chimp was the only one here at the end.
Yeah, I left.
Oh yeah, he left. Yeah, so like he and I were the only ones out of this group that stayed to the end. And I told them that. I was like, look, great, but it has its place. And while I'm trying to discuss with my team leader what the next, phase of the operation is, I don't need you coming up. Now, if we're laying in security, go up and question one of the soldiers. All right, yeah, that's fine. The soldier is laying there, laying in security, while the leaders are trying to, unfuck themselves. Like that's another place for it that it can be, kind of cool. But when you ask the leadership in the middle of the op, it's really not conducive to what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So your opinions align with mine and Travis's.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and No Name pointed this out to me. I was real harsh on Kyle. Because Kyle and I, like, we're friends in real life. I've known Kyle since high school, and
Yeah.
we argue a lot. Let me rephrase it. Kyle argues a lot, and I engage with it a lot because I need to be right.
Yeah.
So, like, we just got into it where I tried to explain it, and I did a poor job of explaining myself. And he tried to defend himself, and it just turned into a big argument that it didn't need to. But it's the same thing. I was trying, like, it's good. I like it, and I want him to keep doing it at the right times. I don't
Right.
want to be giving somebody CPR and have somebody, is this song period
Yeah,
accurate?
that was another.
And I'm just
yeah,
like,
that was another
I
point
don't know,
that I
man.
brought up.
And that's what I just kept saying. Is like, no, I don't know. I don't know. I just
Yeah,
don't have
that's
time
a point
to
that Chip brought up during the
Yeah.
post-op. Was like, he was literally doing CPR on Nomad, and the music was going off, and he was asking people.
Yeah, and then at
I
the
need
same,
an epic. Oh wait, hang on, Nomad. I gotta answer this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and then at the same time, it's like the mini game is, I'm just like, I don't want to hear it at all. For me, it's like it just rips me out of the immersion.
Which,
Yeah, like walking through the jungle, I don't want to be hearing Johnny Cash in my
Yeah.
ear and be
Well,
like,
Yeah.
shit.
it's if we're pulling security and somebody comes up, hey, is this song accurate? Period accurate. I'm just like, well, does that matter? Like,
And
Yeah,
that point exact for me is I'm trying to pay attention and listen and look for people, and I got this in my ear, and I can't pay attention to one thing or the other.
yeah, and which for me, honestly, it is ripping me out of the immersion too. But I'm the type of person where, like, I am not. I won't say that to him, because he is a fellow. He's a fellow mission maker, and it's his campaign. And if he wants that in, like, I'm gonna allow him that freedom. I'm not going to rob him or anybody else of that. I mean, I can handle my immersion being broken, and keep my mouth shut and move on. Like, it's not a deal breaker for me. But if I'm being frank, if I'm being honest, yeah, it is immersion breaking for me as well. I'm just not, I'm the type of person that, whatever, you make the mission. I'm here, playing your design. If you want it, then I'm here by choice. It's this is no one's forcing me to be here, so I'm not going to complain about it. But that's just me as a person. I won't ever complain about that shit because to me it's inconsequential.
It doesn't matter to me either.
Yeah.
Not a lot does matter, You're very impartial with everything. And that's one thing I love about you. You are an impartial judge to everything.
Yep, that's great. It's a great thing about
Travis and I have very strong opinions.
That's why, like, everybody in our command structure right now, in our leadership, and our officers, has their place. So Nomad is very opinionated. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a fact. It's the way it is. You're opinionated, and I like that.
I'll never deny it.
Yep, because a lot of times those opinions do not agree with me, and that's great. Because I don't want to ever come off as the guy who has supreme control over Charlie Mike. I don't like that idea.
And to touch on that real quick, it's kind of funny that way because even though you don't want to seem like that, we all kind of respect that. Hey, this is your thing. We're gonna kind of fall in line behind you, but go with you and or against you depending what we need.
I just want you guys to be my checks and balances, essentially. So, like, you're super opinionated, and a lot of times those opinions don't agree with me, and that's great because then we can have a dialogue, and we can call each other assholes, and I get
We do it every
I
week.
get to be like, well, I'm right, you're wrong, because I need to be right. But No Name is insanely unbiased and not opinionated at all. Again, not a bad thing. I mean, I know you have your opinions, No Name, and I love to hear them, but you can look at things objectively in a way that, while I wish I could, and I really try to look at things objectively, to you it just like comes naturally, and I love having you around for that, because you open my eyes to a lot of things. Chimp is kind of a middle ground between that, I would say, at least to me. I guess he's more like myself as far as like that type of shit is concerned. And then Kyle will argue about everything.
I
And
would argue that the Germans were right just to argue.
yeah, and it's not like, I'm not saying that to be a bad thing or to be a dick. It's good, and that's
I love it.
why
It's funny.
I pushed him to be our master sergeant. Because I made that role for Kyle, because I wanted Kyle to be part of our leadership without having to do much, because I knew he wasn't going to want to take on a lot of responsibilities, but I wanted him there because he will argue with me just to argue with me, which for somebody in, I mean, in power, I guess it sounds bad, but
In the chain of command.
yeah, in the chain of command, he will always, if I need somebody to argue with me about something, I can be like, Kyle, here's my idea, argue with me. Because he'll be like, well, this is why it's stupid, but this is, and just to say, like, he just checks me. He makes sure I'm on the right path, and like he's there, and he's not afraid to tell me that idea is fucking stupid. Which really hurts sometimes. But anyways, so that's why Kyle's there, is to make sure I'm not being an idiot or being overbearing or anything like that. And like over time, Nomad and No Name also do that, and I'm sure Chimp will as well. I don't know if he has yet. I don't know if he has an opportunity to yet, but because I try not to be a dick. But at first Kyle was the only one I was like really familiar with, and I needed him there to make sure I wasn't gonna be like stepping over my boundaries and being an asshole to everybody. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Oh,
No, I don't know what you mean.
thank you. Thank you for
I mean, you're not paying attention.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I was reading something else.
Oh wow, guess who decided to show up?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Oh hi Eagle. Just in time. We're finishing up.
I had no idea. I was like, oh yeah, next
I-
week.
I literally announced like 1 hour.
He said
ago.
in a couple hours or in an hour
Yeah, I
or
said
whatever.
it, yeah, in an hour from now.
I can't read.
Well, if you turned your computer upside down, you could.
Yeah,
Got him.
got him. But yeah, no Blaze. It is not the Longbow's ancestor, but the Cobra is that one.
So, what are we talking about?
Pretty much just bullshit now and talking about
Oh,
how much we love Kyle.
Oh.
Where you been, Eagle? Missed you. Don't want to play Vietnam?
I'm being busy. I'm busy.
If you don't want to play
do it.
Vietnam, it's okay. Tell me.
He's got too many other groups to play with. He doesn't
I know.
need us
Dude,
anymore.
I am in too many other groups. I started my own group as well.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Really?
dude. Busy with that.
What do you focus on?
The Warhammer?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were in a Warhammer group.
I am.
Warhammer Arma?
Oh, jeez, how many Warhammer groups do you need to be in?
That's cool.
I made a Death Watch unit.
Oh, that's cool. Warhammer. So
We're using the D&D mod thing.
oh
It's in testing.
the fantasy one.
No.
Oh.
A
Isn't
D&D.
that one for like RPG stats kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay, is that the one you're talking
And like
about?
dice rolls and stuff.
Gotcha.
What? I want to know this.
So we're putting that together and making a mod list. I need to remake the mod list because it's broken.
Oh
But
shit.
yeah, we gotta get a server and all that. Enough about me. What's going on with you guys?
Yeah, don't you be spreading your advertising your unit to my one viewer.
That's me.
I don't know who it is.
It's me.
Oh, well, then I should have 3, but it says I only have 2.
I'm definitely one of them.
I'm one of them too.
So you have more than one viewer.
Yeah, but it says 2.
Just to, yeah.
Well, I'm definitely interested to hear your opinions and perspective on how the last chapter went with the War Room Eagle.
Thought it was alright. I had fun. Some stuff happened, I guess.
This is
A
why
few
Eagle's my
things.
favorite RTO.
So
there's
nondescript.
there's a guy.
In a bush.
No. The best call out. Red, go to blue.
Red, go to blue. I remember that. I remember that. Oh my
Where-
goodness.
Where is the special
Oh,
target
or-
for Eagle?
Or like when Harry
Middle of the range.
and I just like RTOs with each other. That was funny.
There it is. All right, Eagle. This is for you on the stream.
Oh, okay. What am I looking at here?
It'll take 6 seconds to be
Yeah,
here.
it's gonna be there in a little bit. I miss Harry. I understand
He's,
why he left, but I miss him.
Yeah, he's just doing his own thing, really. I haven't talked to him like a month.
Some friend you are.
Wow. I thought I'm a good friend. I just haven't talked to him, okay? I've been talking to other friends.
You're giving him his space.
I've been giving him his...
He must have found the target.
That's for you, Eagle.
Contact confirmed.
Contact confirmed.
Um,
Take a screenshot real quick, Eagle, before it goes away. It goes away.
but yeah. So Eagle, you do need to name your country officially.
Oh,
Now
what do you
that-
mean? Oh,
Now that you are a country.
I'm a country. Eagle stand.
Eagle stand
That's a little, what do you call it?
on the nose.
It's a little conceited.
I was gonna say, oh, I don't know. Egotistical?
Well,
Egotistical.
Egotistical? Oh, damn it! God damn it.
I've been insulted for the last time, kind sir.
That was a good one. I should have thought of that one.
Look at all these bombs. Yeah, because Eagle is now Rogero and Lingor.
Oh, he died.
No,
Rogero
no,
died.
yeah, Rogero died, but you're Bernardino Sanderosa, which
Yeah,
is
the
all
main character.
all likenesses to actual people are purely coincidental. That was not done
I
on
mean,
purpose at all.
That was intentional. It was meant to be funny. It was meant to be a
Yeah.
meme throwaway character, but it just turned out to be the main character at the end.
I thought you'd be proud to be Bernardino Sanderosa. That's why I made sure.
I had a face palm. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, if you want to arrange your own political assassination, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm not gonna arrange a political assassination or killing myself. Nah, don't do that.
Oh no, I'm dead.
Oh, no.
Darn. I will be succeeded by this gentleman. But the war room thing's pretty cool. Or not the war, the geopolitical. We'll get there with more
One day.
shit eventually.
Oh,
I'll just take.
I actually jumped over it. I can't.
I know.
Jumped over what?
It's probably on a need to know basis.
Yeah, what are you guys playing? I want to play.
We're playing SnowRunner.
Oh.
I can't.
Sorry, I'm
Can
laughing
you,
about
can you
it,
fix me and then I can get you?
I could try. Sorry, Travis.
No, you're fine.
We're listening.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum over there.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I gotta get going myself. Is there anything else anybody wants to say about chapter 4, 5, 6, Arma, me, life?
Have you guys seen the new thermals?
Any
the new thermal system for Arma.
Oh,
Yeah, we did a
Yes.
whole lot with it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Duh, you were
I was gonna say,
there.
weren't you there for it? Like,
I don't know, man. It's been a thrall of like stuff since then.
are you gonna? Do you have plans to join us for any chapter 5?
Maybe, I don't know, if I feel like it. I'll just lurk until I get time.
That's fair. Sad, Harry's not here. I feel like he would really like Vietnam.
Yeah, he's not here to be point man. Now I gotta do it.
Harry is playing just 5M.
Oh,
That's
I-
all he's been playing.
I couldn't do it.
Nah, I couldn't either.
With like, I'm sure there's better servers, but the server I was on, like, anytime you're doing anything, somebody just rolls up and asks you to get in their car, and you can't, like, you can say no, but like you can't defend yourself if you're a citizen until they are the aggressor. And they're like, oh well, you should. I don't know.
Get gun and shoot.
Well, it's like a real person, if they had a gun pointed at him, would do what they wanted. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to be a prisoner in a bank heist for the 3rd time today. Like, like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you're lucky it happens to you once in your life.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm sitting here like, and they wait for you to be in a corner, they box you in, and say get in the trunk, and then they pull a gun on you. And you're supposed to just be okay with that and just play along because it's fun. And I'm like, it's not fun for me.
No, it's not. It's.
I just want to drive a taxi.
Yeah, exactly. I just like doing my taxi thing.
I just want to be a trucker.
And it didn't
That's all I
even
wanna be.
matter that I got to be like a reputable taxi driver. Like, it was just like, oh, just go with them. And I'm like, no, I want to play the fucking game. I don't want to be in their fucking heist.
Sitting around doing
Yeah.
jack shit.
Like, if it happened once in a while, it'd be something. But it happened every time I played. And I'm just like, and I started getting yelled at for not going along with it. And I'm like, you know what? No.
Fail RP.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done.
Fucking suck a dick.
Yeah, I'm like, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to see how many bombs I can drop on this thing. Alright,
I
Mark
think it's
eight.
like that with like any sort of life thing, you know? It's just a fact of like people are dicks.
They
Oh.
are.
That brought something to mind. Oh no.
Well, no, back to the briefing thing we were talking about.
Oh right, that's the whole
Ah,
thing
yes, the
about
briefing.
debrief.
Oh god, am I not gonna pull up? Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I hit Y.
You're fine.
I just want to see these bombs explode.
Yes, about the briefing.
I don't know, I lost it. So like the way briefings I want, the idea I have, oh that's where they're laying, is that they so at 8 o'clock on the dot, we load the mission on the server. This is just like my goal for our schedule.
Yeah, if you want to do fun shit, come before that.
Yeah. So we'll do fun shit an hour before we do a couple defense ops and shit.
Right.
But at 8 o'clock, the mission's on the server. If you're in, you start fucking with your arsenal, and you get like 15 minutes with the arsenal. And it'd be cool when we did it for chapter 3. If there's a little weapons range for you to go shoot, and you can still
Oh yeah.
you can still
yeah.
fuck around a bit, because I like having every mission start at a base. I think that's cool, even if we have a close quarters range or something to shoot at. But so at 8 o'clock you come in, you fuck with your arsenal. At 8:15 is the briefing. Like on the nose. Why do I keep doing the same thing? Just on the nose. 8:15 is briefing. Now, if we have multiple levels of leadership, which we don't now, but if we had like OpCom and 2 squad leaders, OpCom would brief those squad leaders before everybody else at the overall plan, and then those squad leaders would break off to their squads and brief those squads on what's going on specifically. You
I feel like the
know,
way we could do that, everybody comes in, sits down, we talk
Yeah.
about the situation, and then go from there.
yeah, and it's just like, so not everybody needs to sit there and hear the entire, every little detail. It's just you hear what you're going to be involved in and what else is going on, but not every briefing or every single detail of the entire plan. Because
Yeah.
I like
sometimes,
that, and I think that makes it easier for the people to not wander and start drawing
Yeah.
smiley faces on the map and know what's going on in the middle of the op.
yeah, and it allows people who struggle to pay attention. Nothing wrong with people like that.
No,
But
no, no. It gives them
Yeah.
the information they need.
Yeah, and it'll be less confusing for them to hear than hearing everything at once. So like for the one that's on the stream now, we come in, we do our arsenals. There'd be say like some targets over here to shoot against, and then at 8:15 we go over to the briefing area. We have our briefing, and then like if there's multiple squads, those squad leaders would go out, brief their squads on the specifics of their objectives, and then load up and move. And it'll just make the whole thing feel more seamless, more involved, and just like a better transition from briefing to the mission. Because I feel like briefing in the map screen just kind of sucks. It's like, yeah, look at the map. Cool, look at the map.
Like, this is cool, man. Look at the things I just drawn. There you go.
Well, you weren't there Friday, Eagle, but there was like an actual slideshow. I put effort in. Okay?
A PowerPoint presentation?
I made a PowerPoint presentation.
That's funny.
I'm all for PowerPoint.
Oh, hey, Eagle. Look at this.
Yeah. He's going to show me something, isn't he?
Yep. But yeah, that's just my idea for briefing. I think it would feel more immersive. It would be more involved, more easier for those who have struggled to pay attention to everything we say in a briefing. Because while we're sitting there going over the situation in the slideshow, it doesn't matter as much, like if they're actually paying attention or not, because then the mission brief is a separate thing. And I think it'll do it without us needing to be a whole bunch more serious.
Yeah, well, I definitely like I definitely like and second the idea of standardizing our start times and our prep times and our briefing times. Do all of our defense and our demo derbies and stuff prior to to 8 o'clock, and then right on 8 o'clock, the mission leader is calling slots, or we could even say at 55 we call slots. At 50 we hand over the server to the mission leader, whoever that is. 55 we're doing slots. By 8 o'clock we're starting the mission and everyone's doing their get out, and then whoever's the mission leader, you've got a timer, and at 8:15 Zeus hides all the arsenals.
You can do it with a trigger.
Or do it with a trigger, yeah, that too. If you're Skunk, you do it with a trigger. If you're me, I'm more manual. I hide the arsenals because half the time my fucking triggers don't work because I'm not a trigger expert, because I'm not hashtag triggered like Skunk is.
Wow.
But I think, and then having the abbreviated briefing with just the important stuff. I mean, we could even, what if we could even decide on teams and roles prior, split up the teams, and if there's multiple teams, they we only talk to them about their objective.
So that's something we discussed in our last leadership meeting, was the idea of pre-deciding slots. I think I was the only one who liked the idea, and it's not that it's a bad idea, because obviously I thought of it too, so it's obviously a genius idea.
Obviously.
I've seen that idea work.
But the thing with that is, at least as I see it, we don't really have enough people yet to predetermine slots, and that sounds bad, but a lot of people wait until day of to decide whether or not they're going to come.
Mm.
So
Can't really plan ahead.
yeah, it just makes
Yeah.
planning ahead like that.
I think we
just
could
isn't as
probably
good.
go for specialty slots.
Yeah, that
If we
would be a
have-
good compromise.
Like,
Like
yeah,
right now,
if
I
we've
call
got
out.
a room,
Yeah,
we probably don't want to do it in general, but if we had a room where we could call it out for all the people who have,
have
a
a
specialized
specialty slot.
role, would also
like,
get more
like
people
a roster
to.
thing. Like this is what we have available.
Oh, yeah. So instead of having separate rooms for like rotor wing and stuff like that,
Yeah,
have
have all in
everything in
one.
one room.
And then you could call out specialized slots coming up in the next week and have that done.
my thing with having it all in one room is then
Yes.
then
Yeah, you want to
like,
finish that sentence?
sorry, I'm typing. Kid.
So it's okay.
Um,
He has attention deficit disorder.
Well, like then,
He
like
gets distracted
every
very easily.
time we have a rotor wing slot, all the snipers get called out, and they have to like they're like, oh, well, I don't care.
Don't
I
fucking
mean,
ping
tag.
me.
Like,
Well, you could just ping the
Well,
tag.
you don't have to ping, or you could do it at here, which will only get the
Like,
people in there.
Well,
what
I
you're
mean, what
supposed
everybody
to
can
say
do
what you're
is just
interested
muted.
in. The boss, like our bot says, what you're interested in. You click on the ones you're interested in,
No, I mean
and you get those things.
Yeah, so you just have everybody in the room, but you call the tag in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can mute notifications except for mentions.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
That just sounds like
I have that done anyway.
I mean, I've seen it work.
I made a trigger for glitch.
Oh, just for me?
Yeah, just for you.
Oh, was I
Um,
supposed to be paying attention to taking
That
notes? 'Cause I
sucks.
wasn't.
Alliance
But-
Center, Shadow T. Okay.
But yeah, that is definitely a good idea. And then I suppose
But that's like a lot of Discord playing around with, with bots or something.
We always argue back and forth on the Discord channels, and we can never come to a perfect agreement.
no.
I think it's good to have everyone in one anyway, because then you'll see something called out for a specialty slot, and then the other people who have been avoiding that training because they don't feel like, they'll be like, oh, maybe I want to do that.
Well, we could do that. What we can do is in the announcements, I can put it right in the announcement.
That'd be good.
the
That'd be a good way to do it
description.
too.
And that's what I brought it up in our leadership meeting was I can donate to their Patreon for Sesh and get custom roles. So instead of
really?
just hitting a check mark, I can set up for sniper. And then somebody can click on that thing, but the only thing is like there's no way to regulate who got it.
Right.
Like I can't say like we have to rely on every week. But I could put in the description like, oh, we're taking a Hilo pilot, or we're taking this, or we're taking that, and then just leave it up to those pilots who want it to pay attention and do it.
Well, then you get into the problem of not everyone's at their computer, not everyone has Discord on their phone, so there's always going to be those few people that might get left out because they're just not somebody that has Discord on their phone, and they're not paying attention, or they've got it muted, or they're not on that computer. Whereas I mean, we've kind of seen that with like Blaze and I on Sundays. Like I'm usually on my computer on Sundays, so that's the only reason why this kind of fictional race for who gets the top of the sesh bot came from, is just because like Blaze is usually there, I'm usually there, and you're the one making it. So that's where this kind of got started. And if people aren't like that, then they're going to miss the opportunity to hit the button, and they're going to miss the opportunity for the slot.
And if we were a big group, or even just a slightly bigger groups, like say we had 30 active members, but our operations were limited at like 25.
Yeah.
So like that would work because it's like, hey, first come, first serve, vote and get your slot. Because I know that's the way, going back to Remy, that's the way he runs his, where there's
I hate Remy.
I mean, I don't know why I like Remy, but there's hundreds of active people in that community.
Right.
And their op sizes are 40 to 60 because Remy refuses to run higher than that. He's like, it just ruins your frames. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree with you there. It does. Arma sucks. So he's just like,
So it's first come, first serve.
yeah. So, but in that group, it's expected, and they announce the op at the same time every week.
Yeah,
And
so
they
people know to be on and
Yeah.
ready.
They'll be like, okay, so 6 p.m. Sunday is when the announcement's gonna drop. I gotta be ready to click.
Yeah.
But we're just like not there yet.
No.
I
Maybe one day.
Unless we hit some sort of hardware limitation, I wouldn't be. You'd be hard pressed to get me to vote for pre-called slots.
Yeah.
I'm with on him.
And before we get too far away, I wanted to mention on the whole start at 8 thing. I would put forward that we start our last round, whatever we are messing around, if it is rounds, at 8. That way, because a lot of people get off from work close to around there, and they've had dinner, they've done whatever they need to do, and they get on just in time for the op. And if that happens and they miss out on the fun stuff every time, then it might be a little bit more fun for them if we always start our last round of whatever the fun thing is, if it has rounds, at 8.
That is true.
Last
So
round
then,
of
we
demo
can kick
derby.
off 8:15, 8:30 every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's an excellent point. But again, that's why I kind of like having Kyle do this entire chapter, because now I can fuck around with this mission. And like whenever I decide to play this, it might be a Sunday, it might be Tuesday, Thursday. I don't know. I just want to try different days to see what people like. But I can structure it in a different way and see how well it goes over with a small group, as opposed to a whole big op night, and do a little test try, a little beta test, if you will. But anyways, does anybody have anything else they'd like to say?
Join my unit.
Wow.
Motion to ban Eagle.
Seconded.
Question. I guess it's happening now.
Fucking come on, Eagle. Oh, excuse me. What night do you guys play?
We have to be lenient for the first warning.
We haven't even decided. We haven't even started playing it. We haven't even advertised it.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Well,
We
then
got 20 people. I don't even know how.
I was lucky with Charlie Mike because I didn't have to
It
go
didn't
through.
really change a lot.
I didn't have to go through the whole starting it from the ground up. Like I was there when Kyle, Brian, Jake, and I started it up. It was mostly like 99% Brian and Jake. I think mostly Brian, but I just kind of snuck in and took everybody he had.
I'm co-leading. I'm not the Supreme Grandmaster, Lord Commander. I'm not that. I'm just co-leading the thing.
But isn't it Warhammer where there is a supreme leader?
Yes, you're right. But no, the unit doesn't function like that.
Oh, that's smart.
And yeah.
It's not Charlie Mike with our Supreme Leader Master Skunk up there.
I don't.
Yeah,
got
the
it,
Supreme.
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Dude,
So-
how long did it take you to find that?
I mean, I knew about it for a while. I just left it.
I remember when nobody
because he
did
liked
that.
it.
Yeah.
He liked it. He wanted it.
You can see his ego inflate.
Yes, supreme leader.
Head gets bigger.
But I do have to. Why the fuck are you over here?
Because I am. Don't worry about it.
Not you, this guy. I do have to get going. It's much later than I wanted to do this. But this
Holy
was
shit!
fun.
It's midnight.
Yeah,
Keep going.
this was
No, it's
fun.
only 11.
I liked talking about Arma.
Yes,
and
me
Charlie
too.
Mike. I would like to do this more often.
Let's do it a monthly thing.
Oh, I don't
And
know.
I'll appear late in every single one.
You would tell me we were gonna have a monthly podcast about Arma. I'll probably be on board for it.
Let's do it.
But for now, we'll leave it here. Send me your thoughts in a DM. I'd appreciate it. I definitely think a outline or some type of not strict schedule, but an outline of topics to adhere to would be helpful. But yeah, let me know in a DM, and I'm gonna be going for my 1 or 2 viewers. Oh, just one.
Well, it's me.
Like and
Still me.
subscribe.
I've already
Comment.
have. Dislike it. That's what I do.
Oh, and don't forget, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
God damn it.
Now we get to our sponsor.
Sign up with
Nebula.
code
Simply
Charlie Mike and get a free level 3 hero.